And we're live!
We are live with a full BS Busters Funday cast. This is our E3 post-mortem, aka Autopsy, aka the winners. We'll look at the winners, the losers, the in-between. And we have a question from Eric Maverick that we'll cover at the very end, talking about those who lost, what they could have done to not lose. Each of us will give our take on that. But before we get any further, I would like the rest of the panel to introduce themselves, starting with the lady first. Young lady, introduce yourself, please.
How polite of you. Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jewelrunner Moonstar. And if anything, we're about to do some real havoc on what's left of E3. Or what E3 left behind for us to clean up.
Next, we'll have a long-time person who hasn't been here for a long time, but whenever he's here, we're happy. He should be happiest of all, considering Nintendo showed a Kirby game. Go ahead, sir. Tell us. Introduce yourself.
Hey, y'all. It's me, back from school, back from the dead, I guess. I don't know. I'm in California. It's hot as hell here. I don't like it,
man,
but
it's hot
I'm here,
everywhere, man.
trying to have a good time.
Man, I was over the grill today, and it's humid, and they're like it's 95. It's gonna feel like it's 105, and plus I'm in front of a damn grill. Oh god. Oh,
Just have some ice cream. Don't even try to like grill anything.
Well, I had to because I took all this food out. And I had to cook it, or it was gonna go bad. And plus, I had some baby back ribs. And look, if I got baby back ribs out, I gotta cook them because they're baby back ribs. I mean,
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I want my baby back. Chilies, well, my baby back ribs. Barbecue sauce. But
anyway, it's hot and I don't like it.
Oh, you need to go to 7-Eleven and get yourself a Slurpee, son.
I'm also enjoying ARMS.
I don't have
having them and playing it.
Having arms and playing arms. That's funny. You sir.
Don't black yourself out with the remotes.
And next we have who wants to go next? Contrarian or Spawn?
Well, let me introduce myself again. I'm the Contrarian Bastard, just a simple motherfucker that likes to make fun of popular trends.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. And lastly, but not leastly, we might be joined by Dr. Feelgood, but before he gets back, we have the man who really likes Spawn is going to introduce himself.
I'm back to the Busters. Hello, everybody. Metalhead Gamer here. And last week, I was fucking wrong. I was wrong.
About what?
About Nintendo. I was totally wrong.
You know what? You are a big man, sir. How many people can say they're wrong about Nintendo? You, sir, get the trophy for being today's person of the cast.
I actually, since Metal said it, I need to do a public.
Hello?
You cut out. Okay.
I was one of the few that said that Nintendo needed to do a live event, and I was constantly harassing Nintendo of them not going all out because they weren't going to do a live event. Like I ate my shit like after this.
You had to go eat crow, huh? You had to go and hunt down a crow and eat it, didn't you?
So I
Humble pie served red hot.
I issue a public apology for that because Sony that did a live conference, this probably was the most boring,
wasted
and almost unwatchable events I have ever seen. Well, the 25 minutes direct was to the point and easy to digest, and they just spent like 20 minutes talking about the same game.
So Sony and Microsoft, both. I have a bone to pick with both of them, but Sony especially.
Look, all you people just lying. You know you love that VR.
I'm glad I didn't watch Sony.
But before we go any further, I guess it's time to let's dive into the meats and potatoes. So I guess we'll hit Microsoft first since they went first, technically speaking. I mean, I know.
Do you want to go over any of the others?
They did go first.
Well, I mean, I was thinking we'd go, we'll do Microsoft and EA first since they went on Sunday.
Oh, no, not the EA conference.
Well, I
God,
mean,
I can hear trouble already with
we got
how
to. I
this
mean,
might go.
we're not going to take that long going over EA since it was just, hey guys, we're working on FIFA, we're working on Madden, we're trying to get an NBA Live out, whatever, peace. Oh, and BioWare's working on some shit. Bye.
Oh wait, no. EA had that like drum line come in, which was like really hokey and stupid. So there's that.
Man, I didn't even watch that shit. I keep it real. I didn't even watch EA's conference. I didn't watch the highlights.
And I thought E3 couldn't get any lower after the embarrassing Usher performance and the Dance Central.
Oh, sure, got the beat, make the booty. Never mind. But anyway, I mean, like, okay, so let's start. Let's do EA first, and then we'll do Microsoft since they both happen on Sunday. But let's get EA out the way first. Who wants to tackle EA? Who wants to?
Oh, me.
They bore me, so.
There you go. It's just boring.
FIFA and Madden. That's so revolutionary, man.
I mean, FIFA's coming over to the Switch, I guess.
Yeah, but it's the last gen version of that game. Like there's no effort being put into that board.
that EA really showed their creative side with this E3. Like FIFA and Madden, like they have a milk those series dry still. Like they need to put another FIFA and another Madden and. Well, but I say BioWare, but we all know the BioWare we all know and love are gone.
Dead. Yeah, it's dead.
So, like, I don't care about the new announcements. Like,
they're basically doing They're basically doing a Destiny version of Mass Effect, except. Well, yeah, it's Mass Effect, except it's only on one planet. That's what Anthem is. It's a 4-player version of. Online multiplayer version of Mass Effect.
But after Mass Effect Andromeda, can we really trust BioWare?
No.
Was Mass Effect Andromeda really that bad, though?
Well, I mean, okay, look. It's not that bad, but it's not what people wanted. And looking at a post-mortem that people have talked about, like the development process of that game before it came out, that game was in development for 2.5 to 3 years, and only in the last year did they actually have a focus on where the game needed to go. So basically for 2 years they just sat on their ass they sat down with their thumb up their ass, just throwing around concepts, which is a hallmark in bad game design. You come up with a concept first and then you build the game around that, not throwing concept, not get a graphical engine and then think of concepts. That's ass backwards. That's like saying I bought this thing of gas, but I don't have a car. What? That makes no sense. Why do you have gasoline and you don't own a vehicle?
I'm just speechless. I'm just speechless that like big conglomerates are making such shoddy, half-ass of finishing games. It's like in no other industry will this be considered acceptable.
Well, no, Samsung did the same thing with their S8. With that phone that's literally the bomb. Hey man, this Samsung S8 is the bomb. So literally, if you put it on too wrong, it will blow the fuck up.
Oh yeah, the Note 7.
I'm sorry. Is it too soon? Are people gonna get mad at me for saying that a phone will blow up?
No, you'll be. I don't know. I saw the. I think it was a Grand Theft Auto mod that will allow instead of using you will use Note 7's bombs.
And it literally will blow. I mean that. Damn. But I mean, it seems like Samsung learned something from all these other video game companies, that make products that are half-assed and unfinished.
You know, I think I'm going to have to join in the trend. Maybe I'm starting to be an indie developer. I think they're going to develop a game in 2 months. They're going to do a platformer in 2 months, and whatever the product is in 2 months, I'm going to release it and see how much it sold.
You know they're gonna buy that shit.
Just call it early access.
Yeah. Put it on Steam, call it early access. But at least, like, here's the thing. At least early access is letting you know this game is an early build of the game. So you know to expect, okay, this is not going to be as polished as the final product.
Yeah, but sometimes they stay in early access.
Yeah, for months, for years. But like even then, but you're still being told this is an early build. I'm talking about people selling you a product that's supposed to be, it's gone gold, it's finished. Bullshit, this shit is finished.
How finished was Mass Effect Andromeda? Right?
It wasn't. It wasn't. The game, I would say that the game was only 70% finished at launch. It required that game needed another 6 months in the cooker. That game was forced out in February. That game in March. That game should have came out in like no later than August or September.
Well, at least we can say something. At least it was more finished than Broken Field 4.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, you know, like here's the thing, okay? A single player game doesn't have to be as polished as an online multiplayer game, because a single player game, even if you have an open world environment, is very scripted, generally speaking. Like, there's only so much shit you can do, but in a multiplayer game, there's all types of shit people can do that can break that code. But before we go any further, anyone else have anything else to say about EA before we move on to the big dog, the people who brought new hardware to the party? I say new in air quotes. Anything else?
Before we get there, EA sucks.
Yeah.
Like, fuck those guys. If EA were a person and they were on fire, and by me peeing on them, I could help alleviate those flames,
You wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. And I'd be like, well, I'm sorry, man. I'm pee shy.
Without him.
I'm pee shy. I can't do it.
Oh, oops.
Someone should have written it. But
I dropped my phone accidentally.
that's not good. Luckily, it's not a Samsung S7.
It
I was
is
about to say, is that one of the explosive phones?
Oh no, be careful. Don't leave it charged in too long. It might turn into a bomb.
That's funny because it's been months since November that I've had this phone, and it's been on and on and on since. Nothing.
Okay. Look, man, you lucky. You got one of the good ones. But
I've been lucky with electronics.
you lucky devil. But now that we've gotten that out the way, I guess it's time to talk about the belle of Sunday's ball, the people who brought new hardware to the party. And
Xbox One X.
Wonder Dean had something he wanted to say about Microsoft, so I'm gonna let him take the floor. Sir, the stage is yours.
Well, it's not so much it's not so much Microsoft himself. It's more or less the reaction to it. And it's like,
Crickets?
I'm surprised people are okay with this.
Really?
Like, to the degree that they are. And I'm actually kind of annoyed.
Really? I didn't think people were okay with it. I thought most people were like, eh. I think I mean you're not seeing a large uproar like they had against the Xbox One, but I didn't see people. People don't have the pitchforks out and fire and torches and pitchforks out. Going to Redmond, Washington.
Well, they should. This is stupid. Like, you're basically paying $200 more for a slightly prettier picture.
So.
And that's completely ridiculous.
But man, that's super sampling though. I'm sorry, I'm being a trolling bastard. Go ahead.
Well, it's just like, I see some comments once in a while on like either YouTube or just whatever, where it's like, well, Microsoft showed a new console. Nintendo only won because they showed Metroid Prime 4 or something like that. They didn't show much else. Sony didn't show much else or something like that. And like, I'm kind of annoyed that they don't have the pitchforks. because like this is clearly a desperate move by Microsoft.
Yeah, that's going to fail.
That they want to have their money. Microsoft in general, Scalebound, the whole deal with Scalebound made it clear they have no idea what they're doing.
Clearly,
They have no idea how to make like a development team or a company or like
a video
game company they own like flourish and make good things basically, and like it's just it's things that have been piling up for a few years, and everyone's going to act all surprised when Microsoft drops out of the race, and anyone who's been paying attention won't be surprised.
Exactly. I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, we know they don't know what the hell they're doing because look at some of the 1990s terms they're fucking using to talk about the Xbox, the triple Xbox. I mean, super sampling. Really, did you go back to the 90s and dig that up? Was it standing on the shelf next to what was that Sega Turbo Booster? What was that?
Blast
Sega?
processing.
Blast processing. Yeah, was that right next to the shelf next to blast processing? This thing's got super sampling. I bet you guys want to say it had blast processing too, didn't you? You lazy bastards. I mean, why are we surprised?
Can I say something? I think that was a perfect move by Microsoft, actually.
Really?
No, actually, let me elaborate. Like, my name is the Contrarian Bastard for a reason. Listen to me. Microsoft already lost most of its best studios, and its gaming offerings have been poor to almost non-existent on this generation. The only thing they can do to back up is third parties and power, because they don't even have a game that can compete with Breath of the Wild and Horizon Zero Dawn. That's how bad their gaming situation is. So I think it's a good idea that they're capitalizing on the market that doesn't care that much about games. The power, the graphic horse.
Yeah, but here's the
problem is that they capitalizing on that won't get them anything. It hasn't got them much before.
Yeah,
and they're still not going to make money either way.
Here's the problem with them trying to go with the power graphic or argument. Like the big word during their thing, the big graphical buzzword was 4K, right?
And we all know 4K doesn't exist.
Well, it exists, but here's the problem.
No,
they're charging people 4K. They're charging people $500 for a 4K console when you can get a PS4 Pro that also does 4K for $400. So, like,
PS4 Pro is like really stupid too.
I mean, they're both dumb. But my point is that, and if someone is really that much of a graphics whore, they're going to go PC. They can build a PC for $500 that'll do 4K, and it will, they'll be able to play way more games and exclusive too on their PC versus what's on the Xbox, the triple Xbox.
I just remembered what my big beef with this whole conference was with Microsoft. I just remembered, and it all revolves around 4K and console power. It's really stupid because it shows that they don't have any faith in their consumers. What I mean by this is that they're throwing around all these terms, like when they unveiled the Xbox One X, which is a very stupid name, by the way. They said all these terms like, oh, it has liquid cooling, it has all these cores or whatever, it has blast processing and all these things.
That's Sega.
I know, I was being facetious. Like they're throwing around all these terms that maybe an expert wouldn't understand. But if you're throwing this to a general audience, you're only doing that to make it seem like you're smart, to make it seem like it's this amazing piece of technology. It shows a general unwillingness to let your consumers
reach out to the people.
Yeah, to let your consumers understand your product. Like, look at what Nintendo does for E3 and what they've been doing for the last few years for E3. They put all their announcements up front, and then they spend a ton of time on the show floor showing off their games to make sure people understand just what those games are all about. And notice how Nintendo, ever since the unveiling of the Wii U, has never talked about console power again. With a Switch, it was all about the different things you could do with it. I think they touched on it a little bit in the global showcase or whatever, the Switch unveiling thing. But otherwise, they keep making a point about the console's features and what it does differently than the others, instead of talking about this like nebulous concept of power that has been
numbers.
What was that?
Instead of numbers.
Something like that. Instead of talking about like the processing power or something like that, because no one really knows what that all means. I mean, maybe someone like Shadow Fox or something like that.
And not even that, but let's keep it real. None of the games that are going to hit the triple Xbox are going to utilize the power. They're not going to. Nothing is fucking pushing these consoles to their limit.
But you got to understand, Mr. Red Fox, Microsoft is cornered. They lost almost all the cards they could play.
And whose fault is that?
What else can they do? Sony already has
and whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that they're cornered?
They're themselves.
And why are they cornered?
Well, they kind of Sony already got the player base and the better, like, out of the two, the better exclusives. Nintendo has like the game. Nintendo has the games. Microsoft is stuck in a limbo that it doesn't excel in neither of them. Like the Switch has the game power, while Sony has the power and the third-party support, like the better third-party support.
Well, I would disagree with that. I would say Nintendo has the best first-party games. Sony has the third-party support.
No,
and Microsoft ain't got shit.
I said Sony has the best third-party support because there are some niche third-party games that can only be found on a PlayStation, not on the Xbox.
That's what I'm saying. Like in Microsoft, I tell you what they got. They got nothing. They got a handful of nothing.
The power of the cloud is the only thing they have.
Well, no, they also have the power of DirectX 12. Hey, you guys remember when they were talking about that shit 3 years ago? They're like, if DirectX 12 comes in and the power of the cloud. Remember when all Xbox fanboys, the power of the cloud is gonna help the Crackdown 3. Did you ever hear them say shit about the power of the cloud?
They have the power to consume my patience.
Have you noticed that the Xbox One is slowly, like, you don't even hear about it anymore?
I was about to say, it's barely heard in another country, and it's barely getting news around here unless it's bad news.
Well, they stopped making it. They shifted their production to the Xbox One S. So they don't even make there are no new Xbox Ones being made.
Even though Wii U was hurt, even if the Wii U was constantly and completely being beaten upon, at least the Wii U had more presence than the Xbox One.
Well, I mean, what you're looking at is that this stuff is falling apart. I mean, let's just keep it real. Like Microsoft is getting pushed out of the hardware market.
Good thing.
The video game hardware market. Because no, go ahead, Metal.
Nah, it's a good thing in my opinion, because all Microsoft brought is, oh man,
money hats,
pay for online, Red Ring of Death, and the DRM stuff. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they did push for like a stronger online presence.
Nah.
Which
I mean, like, okay, let me put it this way. You're right, but I mean, everything Microsoft pushed forward in order to make the industry better was already being done on PC.
Precisely.
Like,
Well,
it's
I
not
mean,
like they were really being innovative.
That was the whole thing about the original Xbox 360, just to bring like more, just to like PCify some consoles.
Yeah,
in a
and
sense.
I mean, that's a good thing that it connected people, but it's a bad thing because we got games that were broken that people would patch later on after the fact. Because when you had games that didn't have online capability and hard drives, once you shipped the game, if it was a broken piece of shit, you were just SOL. Like, you as a developer were like, well, I guess we're up shit's creek.
Hello?
Yeah.
We're here.
Oh, sorry. We all went silent for a minute. Well, to be honest, this Xbox, if I had to give 2 cents of this Microsoft I speaks of this, like, Microsoft is trying really hard to be relevant in the gaming industry again. Like, they know the Switch is becoming like a juggernaut, and the PlayStation already has like the consumer base that used to be on the Xbox 360. And
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Microsoft is like trying really hard to have one last dish attempt to try and stay in the console industry, even when Microsoft already lost all its cards and can't even muster a good hand to play anymore.
Well, here's what I'm going to subject. Microsoft never had a strong grasp of the console industry, and I'll tell you why. Microsoft
green.
Well, Microsoft with the original Xbox did okay. It sold at, I want to say, 19, 20 million, and for them that was a failure. And so they went with the Xbox 360, and they basically money had it and did all these weird ass deals that still bite gamers in the ass now. And I mean, basically, Microsoft did it's like they're a rich kid paying people to be their friends. If you're paying someone to be your friend, do you really have a lot of friends? No, that's a facade. Because as soon as you stop paying them, they're going to say, fuck you. Which is what happened to the Xbox during the 8th gen right now.
That raises a question. If Microsoft had this much money, why did they let games like Scalebound fall out of their grasp?
Well, because
they
Steve
don't
Ballmer
know how it works.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer, who used to be CEO, left. He was ousted out. He was like, I'm done. Peace. The new CEO looked at the balance sheets and said, okay, we have this part of our company that produces 1% of our total revenue, but it's losing 4 times that it's spending 4 times of what it brings in. So it's in the red. Okay, it's constantly losing money. And even though that's a small part of the company, the fact that like the rest of the more productive parts of the company have to carry this limp dead motherfucker right here, like he cut the purse strings. The Xbox division doesn't have money like it used to. They're given a certain amount of money and that's it. Which is they canceled all those games because they were like, shit, we can't afford, like, we want to get this triple Xbox out. Shit, we don't have the money for this shit. So they canceled a lot of stuff, and that's what they did.
You know the reason why I said all those things? Because I've been seeing that they trying to market the Xbox One X as like the same way they market the PS4.
Well, not really. The Xbox, from what I understand about the triple Xbox, basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to market this to PC people. Because PC people, like generally speaking, when someone has a PC, there are 2 types of PC gamers. People who are hardcore PC gamers. They're either going to be like, okay, I'm doing this because I want the freedom of being able to play a wide variety of games with, modified any way I want to, with the ultimate amount of choices, the ultimate backwards compatibility, because you can play games from 30, 40 years ago on a PC. Whereas if you have a console, you're fucked unless someone ports that shit over. Or you have the other type of PC gamer, which are people who just want to have you know, they want ultra. They want the best. They want the best. They want the best graphics. They want the best fidelity. They want the best frame rates. They want the best. Those
Basically,
people,
like car fans.
yeah, they're the people with the Lamborghinis, the Bugattis, the Ferraris. They want the fastest, most badass vehicle on the planet, or you know, or the most luxurious. Those people with Rolls Royces and Mercedes Benz made by hand. Those motherfuckers.
Because PCs, in a sense, are some sorts of vehicles in a way.
Kind of. But
Yeah,
I mean,
kind
here's
of.
the
I
thing.
mean, not literally.
Yeah, but here's the
Technically speaking.
well, here's the scary thing about the triple Xbox, and I don't mean scary as in it might be successful. I mean scary as in I don't know who the fuck this thing is made for. Because if you're aiming for the PC market of people who want the best, most people who have gaming PCs who are aiming for those ultra high spec PCs,
They'll build it themselves.
well, they have something that shits on the Xbox, triple Xbox. So, and people who have the mid-tier and lower-tier gaming PCs, like, they're too cheap for a triple Xbox. Like, the benefits don't outweigh the costs with the triple Xbox.
And that's when you're not adding in the idea of VR power.
Well, I mean,
and you know something that actually kind of screwed the Xbox. Haven't you noticed Halo has been losing its selling power over the years?
well, because Bungie left, and
I was about to say,
Halo's been
it's
garbage.
it's a 1-2 combo. Bungie left, and 343, I think, is
343 is not up to the task.
I was about to say
343 are basically
they're
using,
screwing the bed.
yeah, 343 are basically using the Halo brand as toilet paper.
Well, I mean, the thing is that they don't want to do what they have to do in order to make a good Halo. Like really, Halo 4, when 343 took over at Halo 4, they should have, like, Halo 4 should have been the handing off point from Master Chief to a new character. Like, put Master Chief to bed. Like, because, I mean, at this point...
Not necessarily.
Well,
Just
every story they've done after 3, because 3 was the end of the trilogy. And it's like, why are we still going over the flood? Why are we still fighting, generally speaking, the same damn enemies we were fighting in the other games? Like, this shit should be over. We need new characters. We need to expand this universe.
I was talking more from a gameplay standpoint.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like... I mean, personally, okay, for someone like me who actually enjoyed the story of the Halo games, I think that Halo 3 was the end of that trilogy. They should have moved on to a new character, expand the gameplay, expand the world. But they, I mean, you know, 343 just they got scared. They were like, oh shit, we have to include Master Chief, and it shot him in the ass. I mean, there's no other way I can put it. It shot him in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, I mean, Halo is basically like, when I look at Halo today, I'm like, are they trying to rip off Crysis?
It's not even fun anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Halo. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I used, like, okay, I'm not an Xbox fan, but I played Halo 1 and 2 on PC, and they were fun on PC. And
well,
then,
I'm like you, man. I'm a big fan of the Bungie-made Halo games.
Yeah, and then they did Halo 3, and I didn't have an Xbox 360, but I played it on the 360, and I was like, okay, that was a good story. You wrapped everything up. Let's you know. And then they were like, we're doing Halo 4, and they're like, it's gonna start Master Chief. I'm like, why are you still? God damn.
You gotta
Halo
give
3 changed the generation, basically.
I know, but like I was like, dude, you guys should have just. And then they did the next Halo after that, which, I mean, let's keep it real. The 5th Halo is garbage.
Yeah, they even removed the local multiplayer.
Yeah, you couldn't do local multiplayer.
It pissed a lot of people off, man.
But what the hell? How could they create something that actually made Halo? Like, I've been, like, when I was in high school, some of my friends would just go into a friend's house.
Yeah, you could do co-op. Yeah, you could do local. You could do campaign. It had campaign co-op, so you could play with your friend. But I mean, and
who was the ass had them made that decision?
It's not
That was
Vogue
343.
anymore.
Well, because it's because couch co-op is not what they were going for, because they wanted people to buy more 360s. I mean, not 360s, more Xbox One. It didn't work because, I mean, obviously, look where the Xbox One is. I think Halo 5 is the lowest selling game in the franchise.
But
I was gonna say, wouldn't that? I thought the worst of them would be the Master Chief Collection.
No,
Yeah.
the Master Chief. A lot of people who were nostalgic bought that game. The Master Chief Collection actually outsold Halo 5.
Let me see that, Red Fox. I doubt it. I hope.
Well, I mean, okay, if it didn't outsell it, they're about the same. But I think Halo 5 is the lowest selling one.
Well, according to VG charts, Halo 5 is at 4.74 million.
How much is the Master Chief Collection?
3.38 million.
I stand corrected. There you go. Okay, let's round it up. So one's at 5 million and the other one is at 4. So generally speaking, the Master Chief Collection is their lowest selling collection, but that's it's a collection. But the lowest selling main iteration of the title is Halo 5.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
But Halo 5 had amazing graphics. At least that it got right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but what's
most people who play Halo don't give a shit about the graphics. They like
But the game looks gorgeous.
Yeah, they like the gameplay, and the gameplay of like Halo 5 and Halo 4 don't even fucking play like Halo games.
Oh, I know 5 is a piece of shit. Like, believe me, I used to be a Halo fan. I know.
It's like, man, this shit looks great. Yeah, but it plays like ass, and that's why it kind of didn't do too well. But whatever. Microsoft, you're fucking up.
Oh yeah, you did.
I'm surprised we're stomping on Microsoft so much right now.
Well, I mean, we're doing Sunday, and those are the only two who went, Microsoft and Sony. Anyone else have anything else to say about Sony? Can we beat the dead horse anymore before we move on to Sony and Ubisoft on?
All I need to say about Microsoft is Microsoft, you're drunk. Go home.
Okay, Metalhead.
Microsoft, you're useless. Get the fuck out.
a more succinct. Wonder Dean, you have anything to say to Microsoft before you move on to the next?
I said my piece.
you're like the disappointed friend. What happened to you, man? You used to be worth a shit.
Man, I never owned any Xboxes.
I always hated Microsoft, so like I don't give a shit. But I do love like dissing on the Xbox because I have a personal grudge for what they do to my favorite video game franchise, Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, I have Vendetta because they messed up Rare. That's like mine. I'm like, I'll never give you any money, you pieces of shit. Like when I found out that the Switch version of Minecraft, you have to have an Xbox Live account, I'm like, fuck you, I'm not buying that game. I don't want Microsoft to know anything about it.
I was about to say,
That's so stupid.
What did I hear that?
Yeah, they're like, in order
Microsoft
for you to play
account
online,
for a
you need
Switch
a Microsoft account. Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. No,
That's
I'm not
you
doing
playing
it.
all over again, and I already got effed over with that bull.
I'm not doing it. I'm not buying that game. Fuck them.
Speaking of another topic before we move on, did you hear the Capcom said that they're not considering the Switch?
Oh, no. We'll get that with Sony. Because that has... Yeah. I have a beef with that.
I got beef with both Capcom and now Bandai Namco.
Okay, then. So before we move on, so we have to ask: did EA is a winner or a loser of E3? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Loser.
I can't show thumbs up or.
I was gonna say
you either say winner or loser.
They're the crap that you see at the bottom of the toilet.
Okay, so I take that.
EA never deserves to win, so they didn't
win. Losers.
EA is like, I'm going to use my own ranking system. EA is like that really, really nerdy guy at a high school that always get the wedgies and gets bullied all the time. That much of a loser level is EA in this E3.
So they're basically Peter Parker before he got bitten by the spider, just getting shoved in the lockers.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, guys. And then he gets bitten by the spider. His pimples gets muscular, and he starts shooting sticky fluid.
If Shao Kahn was
Bad
sawing,
jokes.
if Shao Kahn was sawing the EAE3, Shao Kahn will stand up and say, "It's official. You suck."
Oh.
Yeah, that basically. So we can say Microsoft's official hardware reveal, up or down, yay or nay, loser or winner.
Let me try that Shao Kahn voice. It's official. You suck.
Yeah, close. So Microsoft loser for Metalhead Gamer. Who wants to go next?
Totally. Both of them are losers.
Jewel.
Let's say this: Microsoft managed to keep out of the trash can. EA, well, they're partying with the garbage pail kids.
Oh my God!
That's
You
low. That's
just
low.
did it. You just did it.
Is it Barfin Birdie? Is it that one that farts all the time? Which garbage pail?
Yeah.
Is it the one who eats his boogers?
Oh, it's the one that gives you the 5-bucket hurls.
Oh God. No. Okay, so loser for Jewel. Who wants to go next?
Well, I'm going to say another Shao Kahn quote for the Microsoft event. You're pathetic. That's all I can say.
All right, and Wonder Dean.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You sound like a parent.
That's not true. I'm mad too, but you know.
You sound like a parent. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed.
I'd like there to be competition, in this industry. I just want it to be good competition.
Someone jumped on me when I said that. It's like, I'm not against competition. I just want good competition and not people just flinging the money around, fucking up the industry, which is what Microsoft did. And now it's come back to bite them in the ass. So, I mean, there's only one thing I can say. Microsoft, EA, you lost. You're losers. You're a loser. You're fired. No, I'm joking. So, with that being said, let's move on to Monday, which is Sony and Ubisoft.
I had to study for a final, so I didn't watch.
Ubisoft one first. I don't want to hear about the Sony one until a little bit later.
Okay, so we'll do Ubisoft. Ubisoft actually was a high point of Monday.
Which is sad.
Yeah, until I thought about after the fact how much money it generally takes to go to E3 and get all those presentations together and stuff like that. And I was like, you're trying to fight Vivendi Interactive from raping you guys into submission, and you spent this money on this shit. Wow, you're no wonder you guys are in trouble. So, I mean, Ubisoft showed some awesome games. They showed more of the new Assassin's Creed. They showed some of Far Cry 5, where you get to shoot rednecks, which is always awesome.
Jeez.
Look, shooting rednecks. Listen. If there are three groups of people that I don't feel any problem in shooting in a first-person shooter: rednecks,
Ding.
Nazis, zombies.
Ding.
And if you have redneck, Nazi, zombies all in one person, that's even better.
I was about to say, that's fish in the barrel.
Like, I don't ever want to hear someone say, like you're never gonna hear someone say in a movie, like no one's ever gonna watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and where he Tommy guns some Nazis. That's too violent against Nazis. We shouldn't do that to Nazis. You've gone too far, sir.
I was about to say,
they're the ones.
Actually,
these
Mr. Reference.
those guys have to be pretty LBC in order to say that.
Nazis are the one safe ethnic group. Well, not ethnic group. They're the one safe group that no one's ever going to defend. It's great.
Mr. Reference, you just named the three most overused enemy cliches in fiction.
Yeah,
Nazis, zombies,
and rednecks. Yeah.
You need to put aliens in there. You got like the trifecta of overused.
It's never too far though. How many games? Like, have you ever played a game, just shotgunned a Nazi in the face and been like, that's just too far? Like, no one's ever going to be like, hey, man, they took this grenade and shoved it up a Nazi's behind and pulled the pin. Oh, that's too far.
If you ask me, my best experience with that kind of idea, Wolfenstein 3D.
Yeah, I mean, no one's ever going to be like, oh, man, you shouldn't have shotgunned that Nazi in the face.
Now that you brought that up, didn't you see the backlash Mario Odyssey got from SJW saying that the
can you hold that off? Because if anything, we'll save that for the Nintendo stars.
The Mexico, the whole being racially insensitive towards Mexico with the sand level.
Oh god, so LBC.
Whatever. So Wonder Dean, your thoughts on the Ubisoft press conference?
I didn't really watch it at all because I was studying for a final.
Yeah, you had shit to do. I can understand that.
But I heard about the rabbits, the like Mario plus Rabbids stuff, and it looks cute. It looks pretty fun.
For me, that was the highest part of Ubisoft's press conference. It was just downhill from there because they were like, "We're doing another Assassin's Creed." It's like,
I liked that Nintendo showed their respect towards it by having Miyamoto and Bill show up. That was nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like the developer was crying because he was so happy. It was cool.
It's like the highlight of my thing. A real video game legend gave approval to my work.
Yeah, I would lose it if Bill Trinan showed up to my thing.
Yeah, because he's so like Bill Trinan looks like he's a really chill dude, but then I saw him kicking people's ass in Smash Brothers a few years ago, and I was like, man, that dude gets in your ass. I ain't fucking with him.
I know Miyamoto was there. I just really like Bill Trinan.
Yeah,
he's really funny.
Yeah, he is. So Wonder Dean gave his thoughts. Who wants to give some more thoughts about Ubisoft?
For me, it was an amazing conference. Both beyond, it actually made me hype from an Assassin's Creed game, a franchise I gave no two shits about, and actually made me interested in an Assassin's Creed game. My Origins looks awesome.
All right.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, even the Rabbids game looked fun. For as much as I gave that game shit, like the gameplay looks solid.
Yeah, that also kind of changed my mind a little bit about the game. I might get it. Keyword might. Just from what they showed from it. I still fucking hate the Rabbids, but.
Well, I mean, they go through plenty of abuse.
I don't know. I just find them to be really annoying.
Yeah, they are.
I'm like, hey, you're a little too annoying for me, son.
Think of the Rabbids as the video game equivalent of the Minions, like.
Well, it's not that. Like, okay, the Minions to me are annoying, but they have their moments. Like, I recently saw a teaser trailer of like the new the new Minion. It explains why some of the Minions are missing. And they're in jail, and these little motherfuckers took over the jail. They're like bullying hardcore criminals, and I'm like, they're annoying, but that's fucking cool. That these little yellow bastards take over a hardcore jail and getting tats and shit. That's badass. But the Rabbids are just fucking annoying to me. I'm like, ugh.
And the only people that can actually understand and tolerate them are in Europe?
France, not Europe. France. They love the Rabbids in France. I have no idea why.
It's always France.
Well,
as a relative person of some French descent, why is it that your fellow countrymen love the Rabbids?
Well, look, I'm not from France. I'm from Quebec, and in Quebec, we laugh at the French. Actually.
Yeah, I thought so.
Like, look,
Quebec.
What Quebec is for France, you guys are for England. That's basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so you guys, England
make fun of
America,
them.
the bastard country.
We make fun of them. It's true.
You gotta admit, the Rabbids are full of personality. Look, have you seen their dialogue? All they do is.
Yeah, that's annoying. Like, okay, let me ask you something. Okay, if someone came up to you and started squawking at you like they were mentally challenged, you would either say, okay, if this person is legitimately has mental issues, I need to get someone to help me get their handler, or maybe they aren't socialized enough. If someone's just doing that to be annoying, I'm gonna slap the shit out of them. So that's what's annoying to me. I don't think, like, to me that's not funny. Like I know humor is not universal. Okay, fart jokes are funny universally. Slapstick, Schadenfreude jokes are funny.
The rabbits do a lot of slapstick, which is the highest form of comedy, so they're okay in my book.
I mean, I wouldn't say slapstick is the highest. It definitely is one of the most universal, though, because watching other people's pain is always hilarious.
I just really like that. That's just like my type of humor. So
yeah,
I just say it's the highest.
just watch someone get the shit slapped out of them for no reason. I mean, I don't know. Like,
you make it as absurd and as ridiculous as possible, though.
Yeah, I hope.
I used to love the Three Stooges.
I still love the Three Stooges.
And the cartoon version of the Three Stooges, Ed and Eddie. It's very good.
Yeah, that is kind of like the cartoon version of the Three Stooges, sort of, kind of. Or those.
Look, it's
or
just
those,
three dumbasses messing things up. So yeah.
Or those buddy comedies where Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are like on a road trip. It's hilarious to see their interaction because Daffy Duck is always getting the short end of the stick, and it's funny. Like when Elmer Fudd is out hunting, and like Bugs and Daffy are like, it's rabbit season, duck season, and like Elmer Fudd's like, hey man, if you're not gonna eat anything, why are you out here? Oh no, I don't hunt for food, I hunt for sport. Well, why do we play tennis? And he gets shot in the face. He's like, what the man? He's like, why would you do that? Anyway, with all that being said, anyone else have anything else to say about Ubisoft before we move on?
I think my part was skipped, but here goes. Ubisoft at least only did one thing nice with trying to show off with Rabbids and Mario, which I actually still think is a nightmare.
I know some people are like, I was one of those people, but when I saw more about it, like the game looks interesting.
That's the part that tears me apart. I'm a fan of tactical RPGs at times, like Fire Emblem and a game, and at time and to a degree, what was it? Oh yeah, Codename Steam, to a point, but seeing it like this, it rips my heart out. Because the rabbits are basically tissue paper.
Well,
and the rest of the conference at least gave me some ups and downs, but not as many down. But at least it kept me from going into the real negatives.
Well, look at it this way. So if you dislike the rabbits so much, you can beat the shit out of them in this new game.
Let them die and then just stick with Mario. It's like, I'm soloing this bitch. I might do that because I really hate the rabbits.
At least look at it this way. Like, I'm going to use only the Mario characters and shelf the rabbits once I unlock all the characters. So.
Yeah, I just, for some reason, the rabbits just really annoy me. So even though I probably will wind up getting in this game, I might just, like...
I know some people really hate the... I know some people really hate the rabbits because of how they encroached on Rayman.
Oh, so that is one of the bigger... That's one of the other reasons why I hate those things.
Well, it's not so much that. I mean, me personally, I like, instead of rabbits, I would rather have Rayman characters. Like, I think it would have been cool to have Rayman
well, the thing is that this game has actually been in the works since like the Wii era, and they never really like a crossover between Mario and the Rabbids, and it never really got off the ground before, but now it's here on the Switch. So so it was never really
makes me wonder how long that thing has been on the shelf with dust on it.
Yeah, it only took 2.5 gens for them to do that. But
you're looking forever to take years, so.
Yeah, it only took 2.5 gens for them to figure something out. But yeah,
I mean, as long as we get a good game, who cares how long it takes?
Well, no, because if a game is in development hell for too long, it winds up going Right.
See Duke
Well,
Nukem
that's why I
forever.
said if we end up with a good game.
Yeah.
Well, it depends because Final Fantasy 15 was an amazing game and that was in development hell.
Oh shit!
No. You like Final Fantasy 15.
Oh shit!
That is not a good game.
I'm sorry, but you, contrary, are gonna get crap from me.
Once we
saying
have
that.
this argument in every video.
we do, because you keep on using that as an example.
And you will be called bullshit for each and every single time you say that.
I'll call bullshit for it, because that is not a good game.
I love that
Look,
game.
you enjoy it, but look, man, I enjoy watching Space Invaders. It's not a good movie. I enjoy it, but it's not a good movie.
I really like the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and I love those movies, but I can recognize that they're pretty bad movies. You can still like something, but acknowledge its flaws.
Same here. I know I like the prequels, but I understand the flaws.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know there are people that like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but no Indiana Jones fan will ever say that's a good movie. They might enjoy it.
I actually enjoyed it.
I mean, there are parts of it that are enjoyable, but it's not a good movie.
The prequel trilogy are good movies. They have flaws, but at least I enjoy the
The best thing about the prequel trilogy is when Hayden Christensen gets burnt up next to a river of fire. That's hilarious to me. Like, I was in the movie theater laughing. Yeah, I was in the movie laughing. Like, I was with my friends, and we were like Mystery Science Theater 3000 that bitch. Like, I was like, oh man, Obi-Wan Kenobi's making barbecue. Like, you want to lay?
Anakin, I have the high ground.
Comparing to the Force Awakens, like the prequels are superior.
Look, you can say whatever you want to about Obi-Wan Kenobi. He warned him. He told him. He said, "Don't do it. I have the high ground." Don't do it.
I have to give props to Obi-Wan for this, even though I really don't like Obi-Wan as a character.
He warned him, though. I mean,
I don't like Obi-Wan as a character, but that was his moment, though.
I mean, it's kind of like this. I find it hilarious in movies where people give people a warning. They're like, "Hey, man, don't mess with my girlfriend. If you do, I'm gonna mess you up." And they do it anyway, and then they get fucked up. They're like, "Why'd you do that?" He warned you. And when someone gives you a warning, generally speaking,
I guess that's because they underestimate the warners.
I guess so. I mean, Anakin Skywalker was like, "I am more powerful." It's like, dude, come on, man. You ain't that powerful. If you weren't, you wouldn't have done all that. Well, if you're that powerful, you're out there in the open with your shit. The Sith, if you're that powerful, why are you always hiding? Why lie? If you badass, be up front with it. Yeah, I'm badass. Bring it, bitch. That's why I like the end of that film where he turns into Darth Vader, because then he can be out in the open. Yes, I'm a cripple in a metal suit, but I will fuck you up, son. And he did too. But that's neither here nor there. We've gone off topic as always.
I refuse to call Final Fantasy a bad game because something that you can enjoy and spend a lot of hours into can be called bad.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I enjoy playing. Occasionally. I'll play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. It's not a good game, but I enjoy it.
I've put quite a bit of time into League of Legends, and I'm not afraid to call that game out.
Yeah, I mean, just because, like I said, just because you enjoy something doesn't mean it's good.
But what makes something good and bad? Like,
good means that it holds up to the traditions of its establishing thing. For example, the reason why, in my opinion, the originals, even the prequel trilogy, is like all 6 of those movies are still better than The Force Awakens, in my opinion, is because basically those movies, like from the original trilogy to the prequel trilogy, they still were trying to give us something new. We were still getting new shit going on.
Yeah,
Force Awakens is literally A New Hope combined with Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, basically the 6 for the prequels and the original trilogy, each movie stands on its own. Like, there's no 2 movies in there
that are the same. Yeah. I mean, literally, like in the Force Awakens, you literally, there's a part in the movie where Harrison Ford is Han Solo's like, so it's another Death Star. It's not another, no, really, it's another fucking Death Star. You literally have given us another goddamn Death Star. Seriously, really.
And it was destroyed easily, like even more easily than in Episode 4.
I really hate The Force Awakens. Like
I hate that movie.
I can go on like a 4-hour rant of how The Force Awakens is a garbage movie.
Well, please don't, because we gotta get through this cast. But I mean, like like generally speaking, like okay, Final Fantasy VII is not my favorite Final Fantasy VII. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy. But I can see where it still has the tropes of the rest of the series. Final Fantasy 15 has fucking nothing to do with the rest of the established franchise.
There's Final Fantasy in it, and that's barely it.
It's supposed to be a new experience. Like even
Well, you know, if they want to create, if these assholes want to create a new experience, then make a new IP, but don't fucking call it Final Fantasy because it's not. It's not Final Fantasy.
It was just like a spin-off game.
Yeah,
you know,
it
was in development for so long that we're just like, you know, we should probably release this and cover for the Final Fantasy 15 thing at the same time.
Yeah, that's basically what they did.
I even said once how originally 10 years ago it was not supposed to be called Final Fantasy 15, and they changed the title because of their circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, and
not because it was the actual vision.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is that, I mean, let's keep it real. The people that they have in charge of Final Fantasy right now are not Hironobu Sakaguchi. They don't have the vision of the guy who had steered the fucking thing through 10 iterations. So, like, and let's keep it real. The people who have been steering Final Fantasy have been fucking it up. So why would I trust them now?
Even Uematsu is gone.
Yeah, I mean, like, I
don't
want to give credit to some shit that fucked up one of my favorite franchises. Why would I do that? That makes no sense. That's like someone dating you, one of your best friends, and they fuck up their lives, and you're like, well, at least he can make really good chicken. Fuck him. That's my best friend. You fucked up their life, you piece of shit. So no, they get no credit. Final Fantasy 15, you can enjoy it. You can enjoy that dumbed down combat that, you know, is just lame and kind of you can enjoy that. For certain people, that combat is really extensive. Me, I'll take my turn-based combat. I'm old school like that. I like that shit.
Me and Foxer are in that same boat.
I like planning my shit out. I like leveling up party members and doing weird ass side quests that explain more about different characters and getting new outfits and items and weapons and shit like that. I like that. Like, that's what I like. And I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to make a Final Fantasy that appealed to more of a casual crowd. But it's a fucking JRPG. JRPGs by their nature are not casual games.
They are meant for people that use their brains.
They're more hardcore. They have to be, because it's a role-playing game. You have to plan things up. You have to think. You have to, you know...
Final Fantasy 13 and 15 are nothing but junk food that are meant for idiots.
Well, yeah, they tried to open it up to a wider audience, and it failed. And I found it offensive. Like, I wish they would have just said, "This is Final Fantasy: The Journey," because that's what the game really is. You drive around in a car going places. Okay, Final Fantasy: The Journey, I'm with it. I'm not gonna get it, but I can understand it. But calling this the another iteration of Final Fantasy, no, I'm done. But that's neither here nor there. It's time to get to the other to the other conference that happens Monday night. Sony!
Oh, okay, Sony.
I tried to stall this as much as possible. We have to cover Sony, don't we?
No, we don't. Because let's just keep it real. Sony wasted everybody's time. They talked about games that were coming.
I did not waste my time because I did not watch it.
Well, I didn't watch it either. I just saw the highlights. But let's keep it real.
So we just saw mostly bullshit.
I watched the entire conference.
Bullshit.
Their conference was an hour and 15 minutes long. They spent basically roughly 75, 80 minutes, and basically they spent almost 50 minutes of it talking about games we knew that were coming.
Obvious games,
Like obvious shit that we knew
trash.
that were coming. Nothing new.
I bet you that they barely went. I bet you they went over the numbers.
No, they I don't think they did, but they talked about.
What?
I mean, they had no new games. Like all the games they talked about, they announced last year. They were just saying they were coming out this year. No games for 2018, no surprises. So they talked about another like the two games that are coming this year is fucking Horizon Zero Dawn expansion and another Last of Us, but it's actually like it's like a side game to Last of Us. That's it. I mean, shit. So 2 expansions, okay? Well, an expansion and DLC. That's what they're dropping this year for PlayStation 4.
To be
No,
honest,
I want to ask a question to Sony. Where's the next Infamous?
Man, that game bombed, so they ain't making another one.
Oh man.
The only thing that they announced, and I'm only bringing this up for the case of the argument, is Monster Hunter, but I don't know why they bothered making that their big thing, because that's not a Sony game, nor is it exclusive.
I was gonna say it's not a Sony game anymore, and it's not exclusive. I mean,
Yeah,
they just did a double whammy on themselves, especially since they somehow managed to not have the people allow it to be on the Switch, which is effing BS.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to tie this in with Capcom, because I'm a huge fan of Monster Hunter, and they are bewildering me right now. Like,
Let it rip, Wonder.
Apparently, there's a reason okay, so everyone knows that Monster Hunter Double Cross, which is the upgraded version of Monster Hunter Cross, is coming out for the Switch and the 3DS. It's very similar to what was going on with Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. The problem is that Capcom isn't localizing it.
And
for
that
whatever
pisses
reason.
me off, man. It really pisses me off.
They're gonna make Nintendo localize it if they so wish, which I hope Nintendo does, but I won't like hold it against them if we don't get it for like another year, obviously,
I was
because
about to say, see, Bravely Default
and Monster Hunter Stories, another Capcom game, and now Capcom's pulling this. Oh, y'all still there?
Yep, we're just listening. I'm listening to you give your argument.
And now they announced this Monster Hunter World, which is exclusive for, well, not exclusive, sorry, which is for everything but the Switch
And the
for
Xbox
no
One.
real reason.
And the Xbox One. It's not for the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Xbox systems, as it were.
Yeah.
Now, I'm totally fine with this game coming out if Monster Hunter Double Cross was coming over to the United States. Like, it'd suck, but it'd be fine because I still have my Monster Hunter. Now, Capcom is basically giving the middle finger to all its Nintendo fans, the fans that
supported them
buying
for
Monster
so
Hunter
many
games.
generations.
And not just that, we saved them. We saved them from bankruptcy 4 years ago.
Just all of Capcom's eggs are in Monster Hunter right now. If Monster Hunter doesn't do well, Capcom doesn't do well.
That's the only dude who actually is doing his job at Capcom, making a game that's profitable at every iteration.
Like, the Monster Hunter dev team, I'm sure they're not doing this. They've always like respected Nintendo stuff. Like,
no, this is the publisher. This is Capcom. This is Capcom doing this.
Yeah,
this is not
Capcom, and I think Sony has a hand in it as well. I wouldn't
well,
be surprised.
Sony is probably paying for them. Sony's probably giving them server space or help paying for because it's right now Monster Hunter World is Japan only. and it's a PS4.
Yeah, on PS4,
exclusive.
yeah, Japan only.
And so basically, it's a PS4 and PC exclusive. I'm gonna tell you right now, that game's gonna bomb on the PS4 in Japan.
Oh,
You wanna know why?
Monster Hunter World, it's on Xbox One too.
Oh, really? Monster Hunter World? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's on everything
no,
but a Switch and PC.
No, it is on PC too, but
That's what I
later.
said.
Later.
Well, yeah,
Well, I
PC
mean,
for later.
It's still gonna bomb in Japan. I don't care what you say.
It's exclusive for the PS4 in Japan because like no one buys video games on anything else other than Switch and PS4.
It's still gonna bomb in Japan.
I don't think so. Monster Hunter has a lot more power than that.
I mean,
it'll definitely sell much less than
it's an
like the
MMO.
3DS games have.
It's
but-
an MMO, and MMOs typically don't do too well in Japan.
Red Fox, no, it's not. It's not an MMO.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
No,
not.
it is not.
Well, it's not an MMO.
I was about
No,
to say,
traditional
what's
Monster. It's like
what's Monster Hunter then?
It's not an MMO. Monster Hunter is not an MMO. It just happens to
No, I
have.
thought Monster Hunter World was an MMO.
It is not. It has a multiplayer mode, but it is not.
No.
No,
It has a single player.
yeah, it's like the Breath of the Wild of Monster Hunter, basically. It has a different quest structure. It has drop-in, drop-out multiplayer rather than Monster Hunter's usual everyone goes on the quest together style.
Oh, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna get the shit anyway, so it's.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. I can get it for
I'm not
PC.
getting it.
Well, if they bring it to the Switch, I would get it.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm
they're
not
not gonna
supporting.
do that.
I'm not supporting Capcom's bullshit, so I'm not getting it. Not even for PC. And I have a PC that can run this shit, but I'm not. No.
Just this whole Monster Hunter World thing, and then Sony has the gall to
I'll get Monster Hunter Stories though. That game looks like it's the spiritual successor to Breath of Fire.
If so, the
Yeah.
proper successor to Breath of Fire, Hallelujah.
Well, I mean, it just looks kind of like it. For me, it reminds me a lot of Breath of Fire.
With
I can't
monsters
wait
that
to
you
ride a
can
Double
tame
Joe
and
into battle.
I'm sorry, I'm speechless. It's just that the Sony conference, like,
it left you terrified.
yeah, it was like taking like 3 Xanax, like mixing it up with alcohol. Like, I fell asleep through half of the conference. Like, it was that boring.
If you suffer from insomnia like I do sometimes, if you just put on the Sony conference and put it on your phone and put it next to you and just turn your thing up, it'll put your ass to sleep. It's so boring. It's like auditory sleeping pills. I mean, like basically what I'm saying is that Sony's conference was boring. Most of the games people were excited about don't come out till next year, if they come out next year, because they could be delayed again. I know some people are like, man.
Oh, sorry.
No, I just said I know some people are really excited about that God of War game, but that game doesn't even look like a God of War game. It looks like Last of Us, except they swapped out Joel for Kratos.
Yeah, I saw some screenshots, and like, did Sony in general just like not know what colors are this year?
No, it was either gray, dark drab green.
Yeah, everything had a really muted color palette. Oh, one thing that was cool from Sony this year was the Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Yeah, but it's
That's the game that
another HD remaster.
deserves like a remaster.
It's a
Yes, it is.
HD remaster of the HD remaster they did last gen. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, it's like they're actually making new models. And
yeah,
such,
but still, it's another fucking remaster.
The funny thing about that is, like, I was looking at like the remastered screenshots, and like the first thought that came to my mind was that, these colossi and everything, these exactly like the original.
Yeah, because
And like it's not a good thing.
It's an HD remaster of an HD remaster because they're building it off of the game they did for the PS3, the Eco and Colossus HD thing. I'm like, so basically, you're doing a more HD master of an HD master. Fuck you.
Yeah,
man.
like
I'm done.
I don't think the remaster is going to take much advantage of the new hardware it's on. The
Of
lighting
course it
didn't
isn't.
like
This
look
is-
much different or anything like that.
You know what happened? someone at Sony played Breath of the Wild and they saw those giant fucking Megazords. You have to you have to fight your way through in Breath of the Wild.
Beasts.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh shit, we got a game that's got giant monsters in it. Let's remaster."
Actually, Horizon is being like, how do I say it? Being like called like the Breath of the Wild rival.
No, it's not. Not even close.
Well,
I
that's
mean, it outsold it in England, I think.
You want to play a Breath of the Wild rival? It comes out later on this year.
Super Mario Odyssey.
November. No. Odyssey is October. Go play Xenoblade Chronicle, Xenoblade 2. That game is going to be a Breath of the Wild rival because that game is going to be a huge RPG that you can go practically anywhere, and your only real limitation will be the monsters you fight and your transportation. But aside from that, shit, prepare to get your ass curb stomped by giant monsters. It's going to be
And
shit.
I mean, there's swords with boobs now, so there's that.
Well, I mean, she's the spirit of the sword, but still, I mean, I wouldn't hit it because she's a sword. I mean, come on, man. You try to do something wild in there.
There's some things that are TMI.
But anyway, as I was saying,
I wish for Xenoblade 2 they would show more gameplay, not much story stuff, because I'm not too hot on all the story stuff right now.
They showed a lot of gameplay.
I might have to check out the live stream.
Yeah, in the live stream, they showed a lot of gameplay. But
I mean, the trailers and such. They haven't showed
they showed tons of gameplay. Like they showed the dude going around fighting monsters by himself with a party. I mean, there was a lot of gameplay. But
I'll check that out.
What was I saying? No, Sony's press conference. I mean, what else can we say?
The only thing that was exciting was Monster Hunter, and that wasn't even a Sony game. That's
yeah,
what I can say.
It's a multi-plat, so
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why is this game coming to the Xbox. I mean,
maybe Microsoft money had it.
Nah, because they don't.
I'm not sure how this game is gonna do. It'll probably do all right.
It's gonna bomb on the Xbox. If they're releasing this shit in Japan and it's on the Xbox One, it's gonna bomb.
That's gonna bomb on the Xbox.
Okay, they're doing Monster Hunter Double Cross. And they're releasing that around the same time as they're doing this other game. I guarantee the 3DS is gonna outsell the PS4 version.
The Switch will outsell the PS4 one. Probably.
Yeah, so I mean,
on my image, you can see what I think of the Sony conference. It's so bad I cannot even say it. I have to show a picture of it.
It's official. You suck. I mean, that's all we can really say. It's garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
So let's see. Sony joins the Garbage Pail Kids along with EA.
So the Sony one was worse than the Microsoft one by a long shot.
Yeah, at least Microsoft showed new stuff.
I would say that Sony didn't. Well, I mean, Microsoft showed new stuff, but none of they showed no exclusives for the system.
But you have to admit, the Lucky's Tale looks awesome.
I would say that.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say about Lucky's Tale. The next time I hear an Xbox fanboy tell me that they don't play kiddie games, but they're excited about Lucky Super Tale,
or Cuphead.
Hypocrite.
Yeah, and you don't like Mario? Fuck you. That's all I gotta say. And here's the thing: they're doing Lucky Super Tale. Wouldn't it have made sense to make a Conquer platformer? Just saying.
Makes me wonder how damaged Conquer is if they're doing that.
I mean, you would rather do look, this game is gonna bomb on the Xbox One. I'm sorry, audience is not for those.
I was about to say, considering the audience, I'd say that is a Titanic about to set sail.
Not also to mention that Lucky Super Tale is a port of a VR game that also bombed on VR. So
Oh no!
Yeah, it's not gonna do that well.
How is that a VR game?
Yeah, Lucky Super Tale was originally an HTC or Oculus Rift game, and it didn't do too well because they're porting it over to the Xbox One because Yeah, that audience is gonna buy a game with a colorful mascot. Yeah, because look,
Why
when I
didn't they
think
do it on the Switch?
because it would be up against Mario, and come on, man, if someone has a choice between buying Lucky Super Tail, which looks nice, but I mean, it doesn't have a pedigree behind it, or Mario Odyssey, what do you think they're gonna buy?
Oh,
Why
and,
do you want to see by a long shot?
you want to see the launch date for Lucky Super Tail?
It's
October
right next to
17th.
Mario Odyssey, isn't it?
It's
October
coming
yeah,
out a week
20.
before. Yeah, that game is dead. I'm sorry, that game is dead. That game, they're gonna take that shit out back, get a shotgun, put a bullet in its head. It's dead. It's done. I don't. Why even bother? Seriously.
Well, I haven't seen a game being sent out to die that badly. The only example I could say was Watch Dogs for the Wii U.
Yeah.
It came on the same day as Smash Brothers 4.
Yeah. It's done. It's Lucky Super Tail. We didn't know you. Bye. You're dead.
I think Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom is going to sell more copies than that game. And that is another game that is slated to die.
Man.
Oh, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Sony conference. We can talk about that. I forgot.
Sony is just like.
I want to have more excuses to rag on Capcom, but I honestly feel sorry for them about Marvel vs. Capcom.
They're so desperate. Like Capcom is so fucking desperate. It's almost
Okay.
embarrassing.
I won't blame Capcom for Marvel vs. Capcom. I have a feeling this is Marvel and like Disney once again not knowing how video games work.
Rushing them?
Yeah, just rushing it. Yeah. This game is very clearly rushed.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing though. Like, okay,
Dude, that game looks. I'm sorry, but
yeah, but here's the thing. Why is it coming out this holiday season? It should. Okay, if they're making this game, it should be coming out next year before before Infinity War.
No, this is Disney's logic about video games because they did the same thing with Epic Mickey back in the day. Well, people buy things in the holiday season, so obviously the game needs to be ready by holiday season, no matter what. That's just it.
No sense.
No, they rushed Epic Mickey back in the day to holiday season. That's why the game has so many issues.
I don't know why people don't okay, look, this is all video game developers. Nintendo's starting to put shit in the summer too. Look, you have this big block of time in the summer where there's like kids are getting out of school, kids are on vacation.
Yeah, ARMS just came out. Splatoon 2 is next month.
People are taking vacations. Why don't you put some games out in the summer and stop putting everything during the holiday season? Damn it. I gotta go take out the trash. You guys keep on talking about Sony's press conference.
I'm going to take this time to congratulate Capcom. Capcom, I haven't seen a game kill itself more every time they announce something than a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. They are doing a better job making people don't want to buy this game more than any hater could.
I was about to say, let's see. They already tried to kill themselves with Marvel vs. Capcom 5. They're about to kill themselves with Monster Hunter, and they're about to kill themselves with Infinite. Anything else am I missing?
Those character models, who the hell designed those character models?
No, this is why I'm pitying Capcom in this situation. I think this game is rushed, and not because of Capcom. I think this is because Marvel and Disney.
Them off?
No, I don't think so. I think it's because of Marvel and Disney trying to rush the game for the holiday season. Because at least Street Fighter V looked okay.
Okay.
Character models. Marvel vs. Capcom's character models don't look good, at all. How bad are you doing if you make Chun-Li look ugly?
Good point.
It's Chun-Li. It's very hard to do.
That Chris Redfield looks terrible, though.
So does Dante. Poor Dante.
I bet
Oh,
you the only
God.
characters that they spent time on that really looks better was Ultron Sigma, which is a stupid name, by the way. I mean, Ultra Sigma would have worked.
Captain Marvel looks fine.
You mean the female one?
Oh, that Supergirl looking character.
Yeah, that's Captain Marvel.
Funny because I recently saw the Avengers Secret Wars, and she was part of the new team.
Yeah, she's getting a movie pretty soon. That's why she's in the game.
Well, that explains a lot, and likely is going to be a little bit of a hard pill to swallow when hearing of how bad that game's going to flop.
Well,
What game?
to be honest, I'm not that fan of superhero movies, so I haven't been up to
What,
date.
Spider-Man? Spider-Man's gonna flop?
No, she said something on Marvel was Mrs. Marvel having a movie, and I said like I am not like it's been a while since I actually gave a shit about a superhero movie.
That movie's not gonna flop. Miss Marvel's gonna do well. Look,
No,
Marvel.
it's just the superhero movies are like becoming the first-person shooters of the cinema of
No.
Hollywood.
Not really. The only reason I say not really is because Marvel's been doing it right. Because while the movie on its surface seems to be a superhero movie, when you get into it, it's like they're different genres. Like Winter Soldier, like Captain America: The First Avenger was a war movie. Winter Soldier was a spy thriller. Avengers is a mystery. Avengers Age of Ultron is a mystery. It's like a mystery thing where you're trying to find out, well, what's going on. Like each of those films, while on the surface like this is a superhero movie, it's like there's different subgenres going on that change up what you think is like. It's not just a straight up superhero movie, which means you're getting a different thing. Like Ant-Man was a heist movie. Like they're all different. There's different things going on. It's not just, and thank God a lot of them have gotten away from, oh God, there's this big explosion in the sky, we have to stop it. Which just gets fucking annoying after a while.
For me, superhero movies are practically being overdone in Hollywood, and
Well-
most of them rely way too much on just
On CGI.
CGI, stupid fight scenes, and to be honest, the stories are getting worse and worse by every iteration.
Man, speak for yourself. I'm watching Black Panther.
I was about to say that varies depending on who's making it.
Yeah.
I mean, DC is the one that you really want to get on.
DC is the
their
one you
case
gotta get
about.
on there. DC is the one you gotta say, look, why are you always having this massive explosion in the
Marvel,
sky?
I'm sorry, Marvel uses the same formula in their every movie.
No, they don't.
Cheesy one-liners,
Yeah, but
overuse of fight scenes.
yeah, but I mean, it's still vastly different from what you're getting. A different taste of different things. It's not the same. Like, okay, let's look at the four DC. Well, let's not talk about Wonder Woman because that was slightly different. But let's look at the other. Okay, Man of Steel. It ends with Superman blowing up some shit in the sky. Batman v Superman. It ends with some people blowing up some shit in the sky. Suicide Squad. People blowing up some shit in the sky.
Actually, most Marvel movies plot are some villains want to destroy the world, or there's a hero that has to stop. The hero goes into a
Yeah, but that's the standard
kind of a
superhero
slump.
story. But how they do it is different. In the first Avengers, in the first Iron Man, you get some shit explodes in the sky. In the second Iron Man, it's a damn shootout. The third Iron Man uses his, I think it's the extremist protocol to like call all his suits to help him out, fight the fake ass Mandarin. And then in the first Avengers, you have an explosion in the sky, but they're trying to stop a space invasion because they have a space bridge. In the second Avengers, they try to stop an island from crashing down on people. In the third Avengers, well, we're getting to the third Avengers, Infinity War. You know, in the first Avenger, Captain America isn't really an explosion in the sky. He's fighting a fucking super Nazi on a rocket ship. For a magic MacGuffin. I do admit Marvel tends to love their magic MacGuffins, but
The Infinity
Gauntlet, the Tesseract Cube, it's always a magic MacGuffin. Guardians of the Galaxy, there's an explosion in the sky. Well, explosion not in the sky, but on the ground.
Space.
I mean,
with the Infinity
there's
Stone.
a fair few explosions in the sky.
Yeah, but I mean, really, Guardians of the Galaxy isn't about the hero. It's not about the end result. It's about the journey, learning more about these characters and their personalities and how they interact with each other. It's about the team building, not the villains. The second Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't care what anyone says, that's an awesome fucking fight between Ego, the Living Planet, and Peter Quill.
Oh yeah.
You'll never look at Pac-Man the same again. Then you have Ant-Man. I don't care what anyone says. Ant-Man has one of the best fucking superhero fights ever because
they fight a model train.
Yeah, they're fighting on a damn model train, miniaturized, and the guy has one of those magnetic trains from when we were kids coming towards him. He's like, ah! The scale is fucking awesome.
It's funny.
Yeah. And then let's see, we've got Avengers 2, or sorry, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, which was dark as fuck. That was not an explosion. That was a spy thriller. Like, it was just a really big spy thriller. That's what it was. And you get to see Captain America get the shit kicked out of him at the end of the movie. Just the shit. I mean, he gets punched. He learns the sacred art of blocking punches with his face. And then Avengers 2, Civil War, which was awesome. No, Age of Ultron. Then they did Civil War, which was also really fucking good, which was almost an Avengers
took the
film.
city to the sky.
What, Civil War? Civil War didn't really have a city get in the sky. It did.
I haven't seen Civil War yet.
Yeah, so Civil War did have one of the best fights ever.
Age of Ultron had the city in the sky.
Yeah, Age of Ultron had the city in the sky. Civil War had basically Captain America and his team versus Iron Man and his team. The irony of Civil War is that the only person who should have been put under the Sokovian Accords was Tony Stark, because almost 80% of the bullshit that happens in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Tony Stark is because of Tony Stark with Stark Industries. Believe it or not. And now we have upcoming Black Panther, which I saw the teaser trailer for that shit and it was fucking awesome. It's like, and you can tell that movie's going to be about how did this guy reconcile being a hero and also being the king of a country, like, and making those tough decisions while also trying to be a caring, compassionate person. And that's going to be fucking awesome. Or you can go watch DC's shit, which is explosions, 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 explosions. And one more explosion, just for good measure.
I was about to say fireworks.
Yeah.
That's what DC movies are basically to you.
And plus, I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, at least Marvel, you're right, they do tend to have a lot of explosions and the tropes have become standardized, but there's always the Netflix series like Daredevil, season 1 and 2, which is vastly different from anything we see on normal Marvel stuff. It's a little dark. It's a little gritty. This has got a man getting his head smashed in with a SUV door.
I mean, we went from video games to more from movies.
Yeah, I don't know how we went to that. It's time to get to the bright point of this year's E3, which was Tuesday's E3 events. We also forgot Devolver Digital's press conference. Did anyone see it?
No. I don't know who that is.
Devolver Digital is an indie publisher. They publish indie
They had
games.
a press conference?
Well, they had a digital event that was fucking awesome.
You're
Actually,
probably the one that.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So, quick question. Do any of you guys know what games they made that could give us a jump off point with them?
Not me.
That's the thing. I wanted to actually know what they made, because if anything, that would have given me something to look into to try to see which games they made and for what system. Though, if anything, that just means that only Mr. Red Fox is going to be able to explain this one.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so since no one saw Devolver Digital, basically the entire press conference was them just ragging on E3. They trolled the hell out of it.
Okay.
Ah, that's cool.
If you guys get a chance, watch it because it's fucking awesome. So that leads us to the break point of E3, which was
what was delivered directly to us fans.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, I couldn't help but make that directly to you commentary.
It was Nintendo's 25-minute conference. Unlike Sony and Microsoft, that was over an hour of bullshit. Oh, I forgot to ask. Monday, winners, losers. Ubisoft, Activision. Ubisoft, winner or loser?
I think we all lost.
Loser. Losers.
Middle ground.
It was a tie. Contrary.
All I say is the Nintendo conference was win.
No, this is Monday. Ubisoft or Sony.
Oh, sorry, I was kind of like zoning off because it's really late and I'm kind of sleepy.
If you
So, what was the question again?
Winner or loser? Sony, Ubisoft is a winner or loser.
Ubisoft was a winner, and Sony, I already explained it with my picture.
They were a loser. Okay, so everyone here, one person said it was a tie, one person said it was a winner, and everyone else said they were losers.
I said that with Ubisoft, it's middle ground, and Sony, well, they joined the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, so I guess I have to agree, except I have to say they were both losers. Ubisoft was a loser because financially they don't have the money. Why are you wasting money with this shit? You could have let Microsoft and Sony pimp out your games and just let the console manufacturers pimp out your games because they're going to do it any damn way. and save some damn money. And yeah, and Sony obviously is a loser because they showed for this year coming to PS4s. If you're a PS4 owner, you're getting a whole bunch of multiplats, and the exclusive games are 2 expansions, a DLC expansion and an actual expansion. Way to go, Sony. So with that being said, it's time to move over to the kings of the ball, to the king and queen.
Now
of the
we get
ball,
to the good
the
stuff.
good stuff, which is none other than Nintendo's E3 Direct digital presentation. So
Okay, I want to preface this. I want to preface this by quickly saying that even if there was absolutely no Metroid stuff this year, Nintendo was still the best in show.
yeah, because they had Mario Odyssey, but and Kirby.
I mean, you know. So where do we even start?
Me.
Okay, go ahead, Metal. Go.
Nintendo. I was wrong. Oh man, they won. I was like, oh man, all the games. We have ARMS on the Switch, Fire Emblem Warriors, a Kirby game. I wanted a Kirby on the Wii U. I did not have it, but now we have Kirby on the Switch.
I would say that there was a Kirby game which would be
main Kirby game. a main Kirby game, a traditional Kirby game. That's what I meant.
Yeah, no, the Kirby game, that was a delightful surprise for me. Well, especially for me.
Oh, same here. Just as much.
I at least said a Kirby game because I know that everybody's gonna say it's not the Kirby game that we're used to.
Oh,
No, not really. The game looks like it's a fusion.
No, she's
between...
talking about Rainbow Curse.
Oh, not
the Wii U Kirby game.
Not. I mean,
because that was basically like a sequel to Canvas Curse.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Those games to me are the side games of Kirby. This game seems more in line of like Kirby Return to Dreamland crossed with Superstar.
And let me say that Return to Dreamland is my favorite Kirby ever. And this
Superstar is my favorite Kirby ever.
Triple Deluxe and Robot.
Actually, the Return to Dreamland trilogy, both Return to Dreamland, Planet Robobot, and Triple Deluxe are my favorite Kirby games ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like
this game is definitely following up on that style.
Yeah,
bringing back ability combining,
and the ability to enslave creatures that you've devoured and make them your servants forever.
No, you see those hearts? He's making friends.
No, man, that's enslavement.
No, those are friends.
It's brainwashing, man.
They're friends. They're friends.
That's brainwashing, man. That's Munchausen syndrome.
No.
Anyway,
I'm not done yet.
All right, then, man. Give your sign out, and we'll keep on going.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm going to go because it's really late, and yesterday I didn't sleep that well, so I'm almost falling asleep here. And the Nintendo E3 was amazing. Kirby, Yoshi, I grew up with Yoshi. It was like an amazing surprise to see a Yoshi Story style game once again. Hell, Pokemon Generation 8 is going to be for the Switch for me. That was awesome.
But he's right. That's the truth.
And
not really.
And Odyssey really won my heart. I'm really crazy for that game to finally come. Right. So I give Nintendo a win. It won in my opinion. Xenoblade Chronicles. I love the new Xenoblade art style. If there was something I criticized about Xenoblade Chronicles X, is that the character looks bland and generic. I couldn't remember any character from that game. And I'm in love with the new Xenoblade art style. So I love every game they showed. Hell, the thing that excited me the least was the Metroid Prime trailer. It was just a title, people. It was just a damn title.
Just to let us know it exists.
We know it exists, but I'm more hyped for the Metroid 2 remake, and that's the most hated one out of the two.
Yeah, but it's not hated.
Actually, the fanboys of the indie title said that they prefer the one the other guy did, and they're not going to buy out of respect for the Metroid 2. Even the guy said that if Nintendo does a remake, you should support it.
Man, fuck that. I'm getting fuck that. I'm getting two of the damn games then.
Oh, and before I sang out, Smash Brothers fan, please calm down for God's sake. Get a Smash sooner or later.
So, okay then, peace.
Bye.
So, now that he's gotten his stuff out the way, who wants to tackle Nintendo?
I was not done yet.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So then, I said we have a Kirby game. Then we have Metroid Prime 4 announcement, which is, oh man, that's gonna be awesome, man. Metroid Prime is awesome. Then we have a Pokemon game, unannounced, untitled Pokemon game for the Switch. They said it's a core Pokemon game in the main series, which I suspect is probably Generation 8.
Right.
Don't get your hopes
You
up.
will deal with it, okay? They said
F you! You're not gonna get that before a new handheld comes out.
Well, look, if it's Gen 8, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. And
You're
if
not
it is-
winning that.
look,
I'm betting the E card for that.
well, look, if it turns out to be, I'm okay with it. If it's not, all right. Either way works for me. I'm not mad. Then we have Pokken Tournament, which I'm gonna pick up, even though it's a port. We have Splatoon 2, Super Mario Odyssey, then Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and Yoshi. All these games are gonna be awesome. I just know it. Oh man, Nintendo, that was so good, man. That's it.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Oh, by the way, can I say something real quick to some of these Metroid fans?
Go ahead.
If you guys thought that AM2R was your real Metroid game, Nintendo just put a can of whoop on that title and gave you the new Metroid 2 remake that they have made.
And that's gonna be good too.
Which is a lot more prettier, a lot more professional, and has more quality. Plus, you're getting the Switch game for your Metroid Prime lovers. So, where are you support? Where's your support now, you Metroid mother ats?
Yeah.
Just trolling everybody.
I'll fight you guys to the end on some things that even I know would not happen. And if anything, I'm just gonna say this: I'm happy to know that these another Metroid 2 remake fans they get to watch their game go down in flames while a real Metroid rises from the ashes.
All right, fair enough.
Then we get some heavy hitters with Yoshi, Mario, and even Xenoblade, and all that in the span of 25 minutes before we get into the 3 days of fun.
Well, I wasn't going to cover that. I was just going to say, look, and if you don't believe me, go to the thing because that would make this extraordinarily long.
I said before going into the 3 days of fun.
Yeah.
So if anything, we got 25 minutes of plus. So if anything, you should know where my vote is. Even though I got a few nitpicks.
Well, what are your nitpicks?
You guys probably heard it a mile away when Contrarian said it. I'll keep saying it till it happens in full view.
Okay. So Wonder Dean, you're the last one before me, so go ahead, sir.
I mean, obviously, I'm content because we got the new Kirby, which was amazing. I was like completely not expecting a Kirby game at all because we're already getting the 3DS Kirby game later this year. So I had basically just discluded all of it from my thoughts.
I remember the direct that said 3 Kirby games coming out, so I knew that those were coming.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of little stuff that I really loved about the Kirby trailer, but I'll spare everyone's ears for the moment. In regards to Metroid, I'm just glad everyone's gonna stop complaining now.
Man, they're not gonna stop it. Man, I don't even know why you say that. You know they ain't gonna stop complaining.
Well, we get great games. People stop complaining. Everyone wins. I'm glad we got 2 Metroid games announced.
You know they're never gonna.
In regards to Samus Returns, let's just say I already pre-ordered the special edition.
Well, good.
And the 2 amiibo.
Oh,
man, that's good. Well, you're a true Metroid fan. At least you're not a poser. You're actually real. Not unlike those
I'm
complainers.
not that much of a Metroid fan, but I wanted that Metroid amiibo. So I
The
pre-ordered
squishy one. It's squishy.
Squishy.
Yeah.
The baby.
I'm like, damn. Got a squishy amiibo. Oh.
The
I was
baby.
about to say, the only squishy amiibo I got would be the Yoshi plushes.
Sadly, Wario is not squishy.
No, and let's keep it real. You would never want a squishy Wario.
Nope.exe.
Especially when you see him in the backseat in Mario Kart Double Dash when you enter the cannon in the Donkey Kong Mountain.
No.
Nope.exe.
To continue, the new Yoshi looks really good. For some reason, I wasn't like expecting a new like Yarn Yoshi, but it's been like 4 years since the last one released.
No, it was released in 2015.
Yeah, but it was released like months later in the US. I'm talking like original release.
Yeah.
It was like early 2015.
Yeah, I think it was in the middle of summer or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it hasn't been that soon since the last Yarn Yoshi game. So this is good. It looks really good. I love the way it's dealing with like 3D perspectives and such stuff like that. It really shows like how Nintendo, even if they're like releasing a platformer, it's a type of the way you play it is like completely different from other games on the market.
True.
Like that's just always the way they've made their platformers. Ironically, the most traditional platformer coming out soon is Kirby from Nintendo, which is pretty weird to think about. And of course, the star of the show himself, Super Mario, coming out with an absolute glory soon. God, they could have just showed that trailer and they would have won E3 with that song alone. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And to go like transitioning from the 25 digital experience, I forget what they called it,
Spotlight.
to like the show floor stuff. They're showing what you should be doing at E3 for the last 2 or 3 years, actually showing off their games. It's a system that really works well, and I'm surprised no one has tried to rip it off yet.
Yeah.
Those like
gets me.
yeah, those like 8 hours, like they're just showing off games, and they're showing off a lot of their games, and sometimes they even make surprise announcements. That's when they announced the second Metroid game. It's just it showed to me. I like it because to me it shows that they really respect their products, that they know that what they're making is really good, and they want to show other people why it's really good. And that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do at E3. You're supposed to convince other people. You're supposed to show why your thing is good. And no one does that better than Nintendo.
Okay, then.
That's it. Yeah.
Guess
Also, Mario and Luigi remake. That was interesting.
So I guess it's my turn. What can I say about this year's Nintendo's thing? Nintendo basically had something for everybody. They did what they're supposed to. And they did it in 25 minutes. They had games for core, casual, mid-tier, games for everybody, which is their job. They also did the most important thing, which is have games that appealed to across a broad audience, obviously. And like I said, they did it in 25 minutes. They didn't have a live conference. They didn't waste people's time with a lot of bullshit. They got straight to the point and showed games, which look, I don't need to apologize because I was right. I told everyone this. I said the only thing Nintendo needs to do with this year's E3 is just show up and show games. Nothing but games. And by God, they did it. Okay? And not only that, they showed basically Nintendo kind of like in Robin Hood Men in Tights, where the guy slaps Robin, Carrie Elwes is Robin Hood, in the face with a leather glove, and he grabs a gauntlet and he hits the dude in the face with the gauntlet, because technically a gauntlet is also a glove, and knocks the dude out. Like, that's what Nintendo did, and they did it with one game, Metroid Prime 4, bitch. Bling.
And just a fucking logo, man.
And it wasn't even, look, they didn't show you anything about the game, just the damn digitized logo. And people lost it, people shit themselves.
That's more than Pokemon got, to be fair.
Yeah, because, well, here's the thing. We pretty much knew a Pokemon was coming. Whether it be a mainline game or a side game or something, we knew a Pokemon game was coming. But another Metroid Prime? And here's the thing, and it's not being worked on by Retro. Here's what begs the question, okay? What the fuck is Retro working on?
Donkey Kong.
I know it's Game Freak. But
no, seriously.
But we know it's gonna be awesome. Like, it's Retro we're talking about.
But, I mean, personally, and I keep on saying this, everyone gets mad at me when I say this, I really want a 3D open world Donkey Kong.
Hey, after Mario Odyssey, people are going to be making more of those. We might just get one.
Look. If they can, and I'm kind of trolling with the second half of this want that I'm going to express, but if they give me an open world Donkey Kong game where you go on a road trip with Donkey Kong, his dad, Dixie, and Diddy, and you go around saving the other Kongs, going to different places and jump. I put like Donkey Kong punches people, maybe hits them. Diddy Kong, uses some type of kung fu type stuff. Dixie's hair whipping people, but Cranky's got that cane. He beats people with that cane. That game would be fucking awesome.
It'd be pretty great.
Of course.
or even better, he throws his teeth at people.
But I'm expecting the Donkey Kong third Donkey Kong Country Returns because Prime got a trilogy, and Donkey Kong will probably get a trilogy.
Well, I mean, it's fair that Donkey Kong get a trilogy. The original Donkey Kong Country had a trilogy,
And
so
this time,
That's true.
may they bring back King K. Rool.
yeah. Please, for the love of God,
I'm going to say this. It's going to be
a
a wait to see if that happens, but if it does, we're going to be having a lot of cheers.
But
I can hear a lot of groans.
But I'm going to keep it real, though. I would rather see, if they bring back King K. Rool, I'd rather see him in a huge open world, expansive Donkey Kong game than in a platformer.
Is he a boxer as a final boss?
I don't care.
Just in a giant boxing ring again? No, this time.
I don't care. Here's the thing. I just want to see. I would okay, and
this time he does Lucha Libre.
This is my
That'd be
podcast,
too
so
much.
I'm just gonna say it. For me personally, if they brought back King K. Rool, I would like to see it. Like, this is not what they do because they have their own ideas for their own IPs. But I would like to see maybe after Donkey Kong 64, King K. Rool goes back to Kremland, to the land of the Kremlings, and he's been usurped by his long lost brother. Like, King K. Rool always seemed to be, to me, like a silly villain. He's like a Bowser. Like, you can't really take him seriously as a villain because he's not really evil. He's just greedy and kind of an asshole, But he's not like, this dude might kill somebody. His brother, though, is truly villainous. And so basically, all the Kremlings in the Kremlin land, except for a few who are loyal to King K. Rool, basically have defected. And so, King K. Rool is actually kicked out of his own kingdom and imprisoned, and the only ones who get away are a few Kremlings. So, maybe you'd have a huge open world Donkey Kong game where you go to different places and stuff, but you can not only play as the Kongs, various Kongs, you can also play as maybe 3 or 4 Kremlings, like Krusha, that one that's all muscle bound and shit and really, really, really tough. Maybe that fat one that you couldn't take down if you were Diddy Kong because they were just so damn big. I think they could really do some cool shit like that. I think that'd be an awesome game. But
Man, that'd be good.
I just want to see. I want to see it brought back. I want to see it brought back.
This is Nintendo, man.
I mean, this is Nintendo. They know how to make an open world platformer, and Mario Odyssey has shown that They have not missed their step. If they took that engine and made a Donkey Kong game with Donkey Kong fur, and you could even have it kind of cross over. You could have Donkey Kong go to the City Kingdom and be like his dad, like Cranky Kong's like, Pauline.
Well,
oh shit! It's been a long time.
To be fair, Red Fox, Donkey Kong is part of the same universe as Mario. So.
Yeah, and I think it would be awesome to have Pauline cross over. Like Cranky Kong's like, I remember back in the day, I kidnapped you and took you up a skyscraper. Those were the good old days. This is my son.
Mario Odyssey, those worlds look huge.
Yes, they do.
Like, they had so much, it feels like they had so much fun making Breath of the Wild that they were just like, damn, this is fun. We should make everything like this.
These games are huge, and I guarantee you that probably Mario Odyssey, if you combine all those world sizes and the detail and shit, they're bigger than anything we're seeing on these other platforms. So I don't want to hear anyone say the Switch can't handle this. The Switch can't handle it.
I was about to say,
the Switch is quite a bit more powerful than Wii U, I think.
Big for Nintendo. That would be the common thing I'd be hearing.
I don't want to hear it.
Look, and the Switch proves that it's not the hardware that's not powerful enough. It's the other developers in the industry who are bad programmers.
Yeah,
it's true.
You're right. I mean, why lie? I mean, the fact of the matter is that you're right. But anyway, yeah. Nintendo came in. They said, look, it took you guys it took Microsoft an hour and a half to say nothing. It took Sony an hour and a half to say nothing. It took EA an hour plus to say nothing. Nintendo said, we're going to take half an hour and not waste your time, not waste our time. Here are the games. You want to know more? Stay for the Treehouse Live. Boom. And that is, I mean, that's all you needed. And that's what they did. And they didn't waste people's time. They got the shit done. They showed games for everybody. The games they showed were fucking awesome. I mean, you had like I said, you had games for core, mid-tier, casual. Your core games were your Metroids. Your casual games were your Mario Odysseys, your Yoshis, your Kirbys. Your mid-tier, your Pokemons. I mean, they had games for everybody. The games were good. I know some people are really hyped about that Skyrim.
I'm not hyped, but I'm interested.
I mean, at least it has amiibo support.
Here's the thing I'll say about, okay, Nintendo is publishing that game, which means that they're paying for it to be ported over to their system. So
that explains why it's coming anyway.
Exactly.
Bethesda wouldn't bother.
Yeah, anyway. It's not like Bethesda. It's not like Bethesda had faith in the fucking system. It's that they're being paid to port it over. so for people who are like, this shows the relationship, Nintendo's relationship. No, it's about the same it's always been. Otherwise, Capcom wouldn't be pulling the shit they've been pulling.
And that's what going to something else that I've been holding a gun to. Who the beep said that Dragon Ball Fighter Z had to be port begged to Nintendo?
That's a shame, man, because that game looks fun.
Yeah, it does, but I mean, here's the way I look at it, okay? Even if they don't put the game on the system, that's okay, because, I mean, I think most of the people here have other consoles.
There's better selections that are out right now that could easily eat up all that time that one DBZ episode could do.
And we know eventually.
I'm pretty much hoping to make like a good gaming PC, so I basically have a second console.
Yeah, and we know that eventually Nintendo is going to come out with a Smash Brothers for the Switch. And we all know that Smash Brothers is as a semi-casual fighting game, Smash Brothers is way better than anything Namco Bandai has come out with for years. So I don't mind waiting for a better experience, you know?
There's that.
I mean, people are like, oh man, I really want to play Dragon Ball Fighters. Man, it's going to be on PC. If you have a PC, you'll be fine, okay?
I suspect that maybe Smash Brothers would come out next year, maybe. Oh no! Wait! No! I don't think so, because
it'll come out the year after next.
Yeah, because because Smash Brothers is a holiday game, and we know that Pokemon is gonna be released in the holidays next year. Pokemon
Not next year.
We don't know anything yet, so until then, keep it shut.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. Here's what I know about Pokemon. I know that Pokemon is huge. A lot of people like Pokemon. I mean, I'm probably not going to get the Pokemon for the Switch because, okay. I mean, it depends. I'll have to know more about what the game is, what the starters are, what the region is, what the gameplay hook is. Because I'm sorry, Sun and Moon didn't do shit for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sun and Moon were.
They were eh. Those games
You could
really.
get Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon would probably be much better.
I'll have to say this. We don't know if it's going to be Gen 8 or it's going to be something else because...
I don't even care about the Gen thing. The games didn't really do... Like, for me, I don't care about the Gens. I just want to know...
As I was going to say, I hope it's a side series. Like I'm going to get some hate for this. Rumble U. Or Pokemon Stadium, Coliseum, or Battle Revolution. Because if anything, that actually opens up more gameplay options and allows people that don't have the handheld games to fight with people online.
Well, I mean, they say
it's more likely to be a Coliseum type game.
Yeah, and personally speaking, like, okay, if like the thing that hurt Coliseum and Gale of Darkness was that like they were a little too short and they were kind of unambitious in scope. They were ambitious in idea and concept, but unambitious in scope.
Yeah.
Now, if you can give us a Pokemon game on a console that has the role playing that we like, the leveling up, the capturing Pokemon, but the scope of a traditional Pokemon game, I think it would be awesome. But I don't want one that I don't want it to be like the ones I get on handheld. You know what I mean?
That's the thing that people are crying for, and I will fight them until the end.
Yeah.
The thing is, because I don't know, because they would need to make HD models, good-looking models for all the Pokemon, right?
Well,
and
they could do
800 right now.
Over 800, not including other separate forms such as Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, they could do that.
Yeah,
I mean, this game
maybe like a year.
Yeah, you wouldn't see this game until next year. But here's the thing, okay? Look.
No, much more than that.
Probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't think Pokemon Company would do this alone. I think they'd have maybe Retro could be helping them with that shit. I think it would be a joint, at least 2 or 3 studios helping. But here's the thing, I don't mind them taking their time. Listen. Okay, the Switch looks like it's gonna have a 5 to 6 to maybe even 7 year life cycle.
Hopefully, as long as possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not going to be that long because I think Nintendo wants to get back to having some type of console cycle because clearly the iterative consoles isn't really working for Microsoft, is it?
I was about to say they at least release the console every 5 to 6 years, basically.
And I mean, not to mention that the 3DS is getting to the point where it's going to have to be replaced. If they don't just say, fuck it, the Switch is essentially our 3DS replacement, which I hope not. I really
I'm completely expecting for the 3DS's swan song to be the Generation 4 remakes. Kind of like how Black and White 2 were pretty much the final games for the original DS.
That doesn't really bother me. I just don't want the Switch to be. I don't want the Nintendo Switch to be Nintendo's replacement for the 3DS because, I mean, I like the Switch as a home console.
That's the thing. I want the home console and a handheld console. I do not want them to be fused. I like the portability, but I also don't like. I like that the 3DS has its own thing that it does. And, it has its own shit that it does. And I like that. I don't want, I don't want them trying to pigeonhole shit that works really well for the 3DS onto the Switch. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I could get at least.
But, it is what it is. Nintendo, it's their business. But I still do think that Nintendo is still going to have, going forward, like a dedicated handheld and a home console. Because, I mean, yeah, I know some people are going to say, well, how can they support 2 systems? But, what if the Switch hits a point where it's not doing that well and they just don't have the means to make it run, but they can still make money off of the handheld. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you always have a backup in case some shit doesn't go right. You know, so the Switch right now is at what, 5-6 million, maybe 7.
I thought it was at like 2.
Yeah, that's as of after 2 months. No, wait, it's 2.74 as of March 31st.
Yeah, that was like 2 months ago, so it's probably way more than that now. Because they're
3 million.
Because they're okay.
Way more than that.
Yeah, probably more than that because they're selling them out faster than they can replace them.
Yeah,
that's one of the things.
It goes to the point where they actually use airplanes instead of ships.
Yeah, so I'm saying that maybe, like, let's say 4 million, okay? They're at 4 million, okay? That's still a drop in the bucket next to the 60, 67, 68, almost 70 million of the 3DS. And you'd have to be a fucking moron to shut that down, to put all your handheld might behind a 5 million console.
Everything on the line of one thing.
Yeah, that's
Red Fox. To be fair, Red Fox, it's not Satoru Iwata we're talking about. It's Kimishima.
Yeah, but Kimishima is more of a numbers person than Iwata was.
Precisely.
And numbers wise, that's stupid. Like, okay, 70 million versus 5 million. I mean,
precisely, Red Fox. That's exactly my point. Kimishima is more of a numbers guy than anything else. Iwata was every background, business, game development,
yeah, so
an actual gamer himself.
So at the end of the day, I'm just simply saying I don't see them. I see the 3DS. I see Nintendo supporting the 3DS for the next 2.5, 3 years. I think the last game will come maybe 2-3 years from now. Basically, as long as Nintendo is putting some strong first-party titles on the system, or third parties putting strong third-party titles on the system, I think you'll still see some support for the system from Nintendo themselves, as long as it's selling well enough to make it worth their while. I mean, and like I said, it's almost 70 million at this point. It's saturated the market. I think they'll be fine.
And it has Japan locked up.
Yeah, it has Japan. The Nintendo with the 3DS and the Wii U and now the Switch are turning Japan to their bitch.
I was about to say, and Sony is crying because they want all that green.
Well, I mean, like, Sony gave up on Japan a long time ago. Pretty much, they're focusing on Europe and North America. Yeah,
that's a big mistake because Japan is the #1 market.
Well, for handhelds, yeah.
No, overall, like, what happens in Japan influences the rest of the world.
Well, I mean, it used to be that way. I would say that Japan's the #2 market. The U.S. is the #1.
In terms of population, yes, but in terms of influence, Japan is the #1 market.
Yeah, Japan does have a lot of influence still, even though Western developers want to say that isn't true, but whatever.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say, this is where I have to agree with Red Fox in a sense, but also agree with the fact that Japan and Asia are basically the #1 market, and we're the secondary market.
Yeah, and I'm not mad about that because, I mean, like, here's the thing. I think all of us are of a certain age, except for Wonder Dean, where we grew up playing Japanese-style games. So at our core, we're Japanese gamers. Yeah, at the core, we're Japanese gamers, so we have certain sensibilities in how we play games and what type of games we like.
And how some of these games are failing because they don't use logic.
Well, they don't really, like, a lot of these games no longer really appeal to Japanese gamers, and that's why they're failing. Like, everyone thinks that the reason a lot of games from Japan are failing is because they appeal too much to Japanese gamers. It's the opposite. It's because they try too much to be like Western games.
Yeah, that's a big problem, man.
You know, it's like, damn.
Like, we already have tons of Western publishers here. We don't need Japanese guys becoming Western guys. Yeah,
do something. Don't always do something that's so, you know, the same shit over and over again. But whatever. So
And
basically,
the funniest thing of it all is that I remember hearing this line that if we're supposed that somebody said if we don't appeal to the Western market, then we are never going to be able to appeal to the world.
yeah, that was Inafune. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. Okay, look. Inafune was right to an extent. You do need to have a global product, but the reason people like Japanese games is because they have that Japanese flavor. Like if you bought Persona 4 and all of a sudden it was like an open world RPG where like there's no turn-based combat, you just go up and slice people. You're like, what the fuck is this? And you no longer capture demons. It would be like, what is this? This is not a Persona game. I mean, you know, like, or if you went to McDonald's and you said, I want a burger, and they just gave you like some tofu wrapped in lettuce, you'd say, that's not a burger. That's not what I ordered. But it is a burger. It's like, you'd be like, what is this? Like, that's basically what people need to understand about gaming, about Japanese gaming, is that we like Nintendo. Nintendo has been very successful. Their games are very Japanese.
And they're still #1 worldwide.
Yeah, and they're
overall in accumulative story, maybe not in this generation, but overall since the beginning, if you count all of this, they're still #1.
Exactly, and they're, I mean, like, they don't care. I mean, like, their games are unapologetically Japanese. Like Mario Odyssey, yeah, you're going all over the Mushroom Kingdom, all these different other places, the City Kingdom, the Desert Kingdom, the Jungle Kingdom, all this cool stuff. But at the end of the day, that's a very Japanese game. Breath of the Wild is, you go to Kakariko Village, you're in the damn ninja village. Very Japanese. You know, you Xenoblade X. Sorry.
Oh,
Xenoblade
that's
X,
obviously Japanese, man.
very Japanese.
Well,
game.
that's, you know.
That's very,
I mean, Kirby's
Sword
very
moves.
Japanese.
oh, Kirby, they're all full of cute characters and all of that. So,
Well, I mean, look,
Sword
look, Kirby is all cute and friendly, but if you turn him into Fighter Kirby and he uses a brick breaker, this dude could destroy a planet in one punch. That's terrifying.
Kirby is that destructive monsters figure in a small little package.
Literally
scary
said
thing-
to have infinite power.
Yeah, and the sad thing is that he's like, he has the mentality of like a 3-year-old, but he could break a planet in one punch.
I mean,
That
he,
is
but he's so adorable.
No,
He's so adorable.
Kirby's so hardcore. He taught a reality bending AI that can grant wishes to fear.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but Kirby's so adorable, so you can't forgive him for everything.
It's like Kirby's like, hey, I know King Dedede. I know you took the Dream Rod to save Dreamland from Nightmare, and I actually fucked up your plan to save the land. But I'm so badass. After I messed up everything, I'm gonna fight Nightmare myself. Give me that Dream Rod, bitch. And the scary thing is that, like, the only thing is like, Kirby is insanely powerful, and it's been established that Meta Knight is essentially the same species as Kirby, except Kirby is pink and Meta Knight is blue and way older.
And
Why is Meta Knight so
Kirby
weak
is
compared to Kirby?
And Kirby has yet to decide what power he really has, while Meta Knight is a sword wielder.
Okay, I guess that's it. I don't know. I'm not that into the lore. I just thought it was kind of weird.
Actually,
that Meta Knight
it's not lore.
nearly
It's
as
basic.
powerful.
It's not
Kirby
basic.
is.
It's not deep lore. It's the fact that every time we see Meta Knight, he's usually armed with his sword.
Except he does have an awesome battleship, though. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Awesome
If he doesn't have a battleship on him, he has a blade to cut you in two.
I mean, yeah, Kirby has the Warp Star, and that's neat, but the Halberd is so much more badass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Meta Knight has the better ride.
Yeah, but the Halberd, but that's neither here nor there. So basically, I guess we can say that Nintendo won E3, And in my opinion, not only did they win E3, they won E3 with just a digital trailer of a game that they're working to tell you that they're working on the damn game. They
I was
didn't
about
give
to
you a
say,
date.
I say it's a digital logo.
They didn't give you a date. They didn't give you they didn't tell you shit. They just said, we're working on it, leave us alone.
Yeah, as I said, they just gave you a logo.
Yeah, so what can I say except Nintendo, in my opinion, won E3. Just like they won E3 last year with one damn game, they won E3 this year with a 25-minute presentation.
Guys, look, while I was watching the presentation, I was throwing my money at the screen, but nothing happened. Why? Why?
Yeah. Well, you must have seen Revolver Digitals.
And also, one more jab before we finish talking about how good Nintendo is. Oh, hello, Melee fans. You wanted your Smash 4 remake, your HD Melee Deluxe?
Oh,
I got a middle finger just for you.
Damn, you were like, you hold those people in such disdain. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I'll knock him out with a home run bat if I have to.
With Ness's home run bat. So with that being said, like I said, Nintendo won with a 25-minute presentation. And they just talked, look, like I said, all they had to talk about was just games. Games. They didn't talk about specs. They didn't talk about HD. They didn't talk VR. They just talked about games. And that is why they won. Sony, Microsoft, please take a hint. And with that being said, let's get to Eric Maverick's questions, and then we can wrap things up. Eric Maverick's question is, if I can find it, well, I already know what it is. Basically, for those who lost E3, so that's Microsoft, EA,
well, everybody except Nintendo.
Sony, Ubisoft, what could they have done differently to not lose E3? I'll let Wonder Dean go first.
Me?
Wait, can y'all hear me?
What you guys
Yeah, Wonder Dean can go first. And
Okay.
Then we'll go Jewel, and then Metal, and then I'll go last.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
What could they have done to win E3 or not lose? I mean, they wouldn't have won, but to not lose. Dean. Box. No, snake. Okay then. I guess it's metal. I guess it's Jules' turn.
Let's see. Let's look at let's diagnose the problem. You showed too much VR. You had too little video game accessibility, as in the gameplay of the video as a game has no flavor into it that you could play, and you fumbled up all your demonstrations with live action patheticness. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Thank you. Patheticness. I'd recommend you brush up on your A game. Throw away some of these extravaganza items like stupid VR, hyper expensive 4K games, and be sure to pay the people that make your games a good amount to be sure that you have at least something to demonstrate on the next Entertainment Expo of Electronics. Thank you very much.
So you're going for almost a German accent thing going on there. Okay, I like it. It's cool.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Sorry. I was going for something like a doctor trying to recommend the patient to take better care of themselves.
All right. So okay, Wonder Dean.
Sorry about that. My computer just like shit itself right there. So what they could do to not lose?
Yeah.
Learn how to make games.
That's just trolling.
Nah, it's not trolling if it's true. But that's the gist of it. Yeah, the thing with me and like Sony, because I don't think Sony did well at like any of the past E3s for the past few years. And you know, people will point out 2015 where they announced like Final Fantasy VII and stuff like that.
A game that has not come out yet, and no one knows anything about it.
Will never come out. But none of those were like their games. Oh wait, no, they announced Horizon Zero Dawn. So okay, one game out of like a bunch of others. And you know, when they like, because all the other companies do this too. They just like initial, and it just, I don't know how people can like trust a lot of these big companies after all the
bullshit,
after the whole mess that has come about. Because there were a few games announced either by Activision or I think it was at like Microsoft's conference.
Mm-hmm.
What was that game called? You're in a suit, right? And you like jump down into a planet and you like fly around. What was that game called?
Recore?
No, it wasn't Recore. It was a first-person shooter. It was like Destiny, but like
Anthem?
No. Well, anyway, like I can see why somebody thinks that's cool, but like after the whole fiasco with Destiny and like the way that game is just released nowadays, I don't see how anyone can be anything but cautious yet skeptical about something like that. So, just, you can call me a fanboy all you want, but it's hard for me to get truly excited about something that isn't Nintendo related. Because anything else just doesn't seem as reliable.
Yeah, because there's a chance that it'll be delayed, or when it comes out, the product is not commensurate to what they promised. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Yeah.
And one other thing is that a company doesn't like lose if they don't announce something super specific. Like there are people who will completely write off this Nintendo conference because like Animal Crossing wasn't announced or something like that. And if you do that for any company, that's completely ridiculous. Like you need to look at like the broader picture of something like that. It just, this whole thing of certain games not getting announced doesn't mean that nothing was announced, and people like think that for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say in podcasts, well, you know, I didn't buy a game because one character wasn't in the game, and I'm like, it seems like a weird reason not to buy something. Or you know, so and so they didn't announce. It's like, well, they didn't talk about Soul Calibur. I love Soul Calibur, but the fact that they didn't announce it doesn't mean that the thing was garbage. But I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I remember a long time ago there was this Sony conference or something or other, and like some dude came out in a Crash Bandicoot shirt, and they didn't announce anything Crash Bandicoot related, and people were like getting really mad. They didn't announce Crash Bandicoot when they hinted at it, and like, first of all, they didn't hint at anything. A dude could
that was just
like
wearing a Crash Bandicoot shirt.
Yeah, he could like Crash Bandicoot.
Well, they do the same thing to Nintendo all the time. Like Reggie will wear a Metroid pin like 3-4 years ago. Oh man, that means Metroid's coming. Motherfucker, where'd you get that from?
Yeah, it's just if something super specific is, people need to stop hinging on like these super specific reasons for not liking something. It's just a pet peeve. It really I think it's one of the things that keeps this discussion down about something like E3. They get too like hung up on it.
Hyped.
Well, they get too. Yeah, you're right. They get too enthralled with the idea of certain things being there, with their own ideas of what E3 should be. Like I said, in my opinion, like, I mean, we can agree that we don't. I don't like to say who won or who lost E3, but we can say Nintendo did very well this year's E3, and they did it But I mean, it was the polar opposite of what Sony, Microsoft, EA, Activision did. Or no, well, Activision didn't do shit because they're smart. Ubisoft, all they did was just come up there and show games, and that's all you have to do if you're a console manufacturer. Why are you? And here's the thing: first party games or second party games, third party exclusives. Stop showing fucking multiplats unless you're doing something cool with the multiplat, like exclusive content. Like I hate that. Oh man, this is a like Microsoft did that throughout the entire thing. I'm like, why are you bragging about that? That's just stupid.
The only thing that they could likely brag about is how they're having VR in their system.
We are
VR.
They talk about VR for Xbox One.
So here's the thing. I haven't heard any other company try to highlight VR as deeply. Not even Sony, which is
Well, the PlayStation VR.
Well, no, they spent about 40 minutes during the Sony press conference talking about VR games.
what?
Yeah, all they talked about was VR stuff.
Okay, then what? How much VR did Microsoft get into?
None. They didn't talk about VR. The only people who talked about VR was
That's the funny thing, because I know that there's that there were mentions of VR because of VBR and VR with certain games. It's just I'm trying to remember which.
no, the only people who really talked about VR was Sony was insane on VR. It was ridiculous.
Microsoft was just showing a bunch of like indie games that they were taking credit for, I guess.
Yeah,
or showing games that have been announced for a long time.
That were on like Lucky Super Tail was on VR and now it's being ported to a console.
And like Cuphead was like the last trailer they showed, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of those indie games were VR games that they're putting on the Xbox One console. Which I mean that's just like, it's sad. I mean, even the Xbox, the XXX console, it's just like their conference was just set. Like, there's nothing in my opinion that Microsoft could have done to save that conference, except maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so what I can say to answer the question. There's nothing these guys can do to not lose. They're a lost cause. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
lost cause.
Especially Microsoft and Sony, because they can't help it. I mean, like Microsoft,
like they're like it's basically like it's as if you have cancer. Like it's too late. It's too late.
They can't, like Microsoft can't help being lame because that's what they do. They're lame. They're a lame ass company that's so desperate. They're so damn desperate. It's kind of sad, really, how desperate Microsoft is for
some green.
No, well, I mean, no, they have tons of money, but how desperate the Xbox division comes off across. Now they're digging into the pouch for old 1990s platitudes super sampling. Was that right next to the shelf, as I said earlier, to blast processing?
Yeah.
And well, I mean, think about it. This is 32 bits plus 32 bits. It's 64 bits, which is more, Jimmy. Like with the 64 bit.
The Jaguar.
Yeah, the Jaguar. I mean, Microsoft, I don't know what they could have done to do well this year at this year's E3. Like, I don't know. I don't know what Microsoft could have done. EA, I don't know. Like, the only thing EA could have done for me to make me think they could have won this year's E3 is maybe like instead of like not talk about FIFA or Madden, because unfortunately everyone knows you're gonna fucking come out with FIFA and Madden. So why talk about it? maybe if they had said they were putting Star Wars Battlefront 2 on other consoles aside from just PS4 and Xbox One.
Look, for EA, that's too much asking.
Yeah, unless or the FIFA 18 is a damn port of it's a damn last gen. It's using the Xbox 360 and PS3 engine. I'm like, you lazy bastards.
Well, that's EA for you. Look, the truth is, EA is the polar opposite of Nintendo.
Yeah.
They don't make consoles. They're from the West. They're lazy. They focus on graphics over gameplay, and their products are broken.
Yeah, basically.
A polar opposite.
Okay, what game is someone playing in the background?
It ain't me.
What are you playing?
Metopia.
I knew it. I knew someone was playing something in the background.
How is it?
It's cute.
Yeah, I have a question about that game, and they never answered it. Do you control your party, or is it just random battles and the AI controls it?
Both.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can auto battle, and you can control the characters how you like, while also being able to assist them with some sprinkles.
Well, I might get that game then if it's more like a traditional RPG in that regard. But anyway, what was I about to say? Oh, but yeah, I mean, and then you get Ubisoft and Sony's on Monday. I mean, if Ubisoft were smart, I wouldn't have had an E3 conference this year. I would have saved that money and think about it. Ubisoft spent between 5 to 10 million to come to E3 this year. They could have taken that money and made like 5 to 10 little indie games that would have made them 10 million each if each of them had sold 1 million.
Yeah,
like that could have made them $100 million. Like, this is stupid. I don't.
Yeah, Red Fox, but you're asking them. You're asking them to use their brains. You're asking too much.
Yeah, that's my dumb ass. I don't know why I'm expecting business sense from someone who ran their company to the ground. Yeah, I mean, and then you've got Sony, who just, look, Sony had nothing to show this year. I mean, generally speaking, they had nothing to show. Nothing that's coming out this year for the PS4. And next year they have some good games, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. I guess they should have showed. I guess they could have shown, it just all those damn VR games. Jesus Christ, Sony, stop. VR is not gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. It's like Paul Newman told Tom Cruise in the Cinema, kid, it ain't gonna happen. Okay. And then lastly, Nintendo, they won, so fuck it. They don't need to do shit. They did their job. They didn't waste my time. They showed what they needed to show, and then they got the fuck out. And that's what you need. So with that being said, I think we've exhausted the topics. I know I was supposed to do a review of The Mummy, but fuck it. I'll make this quick. It sucked. Don't watch it.
Okay.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thought a movie that's so desperate to make a universe sucked? Oh, geez. It had Tom Cruise in it. Sucked. Who knew? I'm amazed.
Yeah, look, despite not knowing anything about the movie, just looking at the trailer, I was like, nah, not interested.
Well, this movie lost people in the opening. Like, we got through the trailers, and then it showed the Universal logo, and then the little globe in the Universal logo spun around and said, Dark Universe, and literally someone behind me said, fuck you, Universal. And I was like, oh shit, this movie has already lost some of the crowd. And no one shushed them. Some people were like, yeah. I was like, oh shit.
Hi again. I can't sleep, so I decided to join once again.
Well,
Yeah.
we're already at the end. We're about to wrap things up. So with that being said, once again, we'll let Wonder Dean go first with his fantastic Kirby and his tuxedo and top hat.
Hey, all, it's hot and tired, and I'm tired. It's fun talking, though. E3 was a big event in a lot of ways, and I think we're gonna see a lot of shakeups, good and bad, in the near future.
Yeah, somebody at Sony's gonna get fired for that shitty presentation. Metalhead.
This is Metalhead, and I'll be back. Seriously, that was a good podcast, and Nintendo won, man. Like, I tried to throw my money at the screen, but it didn't work. I don't understand why.
Okay, and we've got Contrarian. Go.
Well, sorry for just leaving and coming back, but I have trouble sleeping these last days, so like I decided to join back. I'm the Contrarian Bastard. I'm thinking of changing my name to the Contrarian Bitch because of this avatar, but
No, stay with Bastard. It sounds good.
Yeah, because look at all those Gardevoirs that people were like, oh, that's so hot. It's like, that's a male Gardevoir, you sick bastard. Until they made that alternate form, I was like, why'd you cave in, Nintendo? Why? Pokemon Company.
well, at least Lilligan is female only, so there's no risk of finding a male one. So, but anyway, that's all I have to say.
Okay then, and last but not least, Jewel, give your sign off.
This is the Major Gaming Jewelry Eli Moonstar saying sayonara until next time, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, and last but not leastly, it's me, Mr. Red Fox. Thank you for joining. I have some content coming next week. Tavern Tales shall return, along with some movie reviews, stuff like that. And I'll give my thoughts on the Xbox One X, or AKA the triple X rated box, and Sony and all that type of stuff. So without much ado, peace out.